Cool. All right. Welcome to the Go Man podcast.
Thanks, mate.
Today we got Duane Mead, who I've known for about 20 years. Posted HMO Sterling together back in the past, and lived off base. Shared a place together.
Yep.
The good old days. So thanks for coming in, Duane.
All right, thanks, mate. Thanks for having me.
You bet.
Thanks for the opportunity to come on, and congrats.
Oh, thanks.
On the startup. Yeah, pretty cool.
yeah. Nah, I'm looking forward to it, bro. Cool. So the way we sort of operate here is just having a chat, fucking talking about the good old days, whatever, anything and everything. And so I like to start at the beginning and just sort of walk through where you went through your life, what took you to the military, what you've done, what you did in there, what you've done since.
Yeah.
And that's about it. Cool. So starting at the beginning, bro, where were you born?
All right. Shit, we're really going to the beginning. So I was born in PNG, in Lae. Long story short, I moved to Australia, to Brisbane, when I was 3 years old with my mum, and started living down here with my stepdad, who raised me as his own.
So your mum and dad split in PNG before? Yeah, they was you still around until you were 3, or?
Yeah, still around, but that obviously just dissolved. They split up, and mum made the move to Australia with my stepdad, who I call dad. And I guess it was just a natural progression for us, I think, because the dad's obviously from Australia. So
did they meet over there?
They met over there. Dad was working in Lae at Dunlop Tyres, and that's where mum met him. And then, they hit it off and made the move back home. Well, for dad, back home to Australia, took mum. And he moved with his work, and she came and brought myself and my grandma, and my sister stayed in PNG with my dad, my biological dad. And then, that was pretty much it. Yeah.
How many siblings you got?
So I've got my biological sister, I've got 2 half-brothers or step-brothers, I suppose, and that's it. So
step-brothers as in just your stepdad's kids, so not with your mum?
Yeah, with my mum.
Oh, so
half-brothers, sorry, yeah. So 2 half-brothers and my eldest biological sister, yeah. So I'm second eldest, so... Yeah, and the 2 little brothers were born here in Australia.
How much older is your sister?
She's 10 years older.
Yeah, right.
So a tiny bit of a gap, but so she
was 13 when it all.
Yeah, so she knew what was going on as far as the split between mum and dad. I had no idea because I was 3, just getting around.
Yeah,
just being a little kid, whatever. Moved to Australia, so. Yeah, it didn't really impact me too much, the split. So, yeah.
Do you have anything to do with your biological father?
Yeah, I do. I mean, he moved on obviously as well and had another family. So I've actually got 2 other half brothers from his family and a half sister as well. So, all up, I've got like 4 half brothers and a half sister and a biological sister. So I forgot about them, but that's what I mean. That's my point, is that they moved on. He had another family, which I actually only realistically only connected back with him when I was like 18. So I didn't really know him growing up. I knew of him, but my life was here. So since I was 3, and which didn't bother me at all. Like.
Didn't feel like you're missing anything?
No, and growing up, my biological sister tried to keep that connection with our dad alive, because she was obviously older and probably had somewhat of a, knew the importance of that connection, or the one that she had with him that I sort of didn't, because I suppose I lost that connection when I was so little. anyway, so she did her best to try and keep that together, and then it's sort of I just was not that I didn't care, but I was just whatever, like you know. So didn't really matter too much to me until probably I got older. When I first met him when I was 18, and I was old enough to understand who he was, and can make my own decision around whether or not I wanted him to be in my life, I guess. And
Where's he at?
So he lived in PNG still.
When you were 18?
Where was I at?
When you were 18?
I was in Brisbane.
Oh, so he lived in PNG when you were 18. So you reached out to him over there.
No, he came back down. So we've got family obviously down in Australia as well, and that's on his side. So he would come down and visit them. And I guess, it must have been one of those trips where he was down here, and then Navanka my sister, would she sort of facilitated the meeting, I guess. And I was I'm keen to meet him now that I'm an adult. So it was a little bit weird. Like, we went to the city, so we met outside the Treasury Casino in that little grass area, and I still remember it. Obviously, it stuck with me. That first meeting, that day sort of imprinted in my mind, because it's probably it meant something at the time. Like it's pretty big when you meet your biological dad for the first time, and you're sort of old enough to
I did the same thing. I think I was 20 when I met my biological dad for the first time.
Yeah.
Remember that day pretty vividly.
Yeah, I remember it, and it's because you don't know how to feel. Like, I didn't know how to feel about it. I didn't know if I should be happy, excited, or because I never had any ill feelings towards him. Because I guess as I was growing up, I had a pretty relatively normal, good life, and there was nothing untoward that anyone had ever expressed to me about him. So there was nothing negative there. It's just that he wasn't in my life. Like, I knew he was my biological dad, and my stepdad was my dad that brought me up. But so I sort of went in there pretty neutral. Just to, I suppose it was just so I could meet him and go, oh, cool. Like, you look like me. That's a bit weird, but and I guess, it kind of was a time where it was sort of, okay, this is the confirmation for me. Like, it's sort of full circle. It was sort of like closing the loop, I guess.
Yeah.
So I knew.
Otherwise, it's always on your mind, eh? Like, who is he? What is he? What's he about?
What's he like? Is he a dick? Is he cool? Like, I don't know. I never knew him, so it was sort of nice to actually meet the man. Who's my father? I guess it's a weird concept.
Is there any reason that he didn't, if he wasn't a bad guy, that he didn't try and connect with you before you were 18? Or
I think, and I'm not 100% sure because I can't speak for him, but from what I've gathered is that I think it was just his personality. So I don't think, I think he moved on and started his own family. I think he always, I know that he always did love me and my sister, but I think it was just we were one chapter. He probably knew that we were all good with our, new family with mum and my stepdad. So I think it's more of a personality thing, whereas like I'm not going to interfere. There's no, and maybe, I don't know. And like I said, I can't speak for him, so I don't know what his thought process was and why he didn't. I think he did try and reach out a couple of times, and I think there might have been times when I was younger where we did catch up at family things from his side of the family that I probably can't remember too much. But yeah, because like I said, my sister tried to keep us in contact, but because I was little, I didn't have a choice, and I think mum, to a certain extent, sort of guarded me from maybe potential hurt or something. I don't know, or she thought there's no point in, making a big effort to try and keep us connected. I think we just moved on.
Okay.
And he was probably feeling maybe the same way. So he thought, oh, well, they're all good. He's moved on with, he's all good with his family.
You're all good with yours?
I don't know. It's weird.
Indifference.
I've never really asked him, to be honest, and I don't know if I probably will. Because
It is what it is.
Yeah, it is what it is. And I'm 43 nearly. Like, that boat sailed. I don't
Yeah.
really care. Not that I don't care, but it's just like whatever.
Yeah.
It's just, it is what it is. And but yeah, we're still in contact now, which is good. Like, I think we've got a pretty good relationship. It's I just don't think there's not much else to it, to be honest. Like,
Yeah, fair enough.
we're sort of still just living our own lives, and we just know we're there. We say hello at holiday times or birthdays. We tried to make a concerted effort a little while ago, but
Mate, that's fucking...
it just seems...
Even just regular families that do stay in touch, that's fucking where people are at these days anyway.
Yeah,
Even
regular
the
families...
ones that aren't
like,
estranged are still... don't speak unless it's a birthday, you send a text or whatever. And
that's just life, hey?
Yeah,
you
that's
just
it.
sort of... Everyone's so busy.
Yeah, everyone's consumed.
And it depends on how much how much effort you want to put in to those relationships, I guess. And that one with my biological dad is there, but it's not in my main focus. I've got my own family now. That comes with its own stresses.
Yeah. That's busy as fuck.
Oh, so busy. Yeah. So that's that really. So
3 years old, moved to Australia. Where'd you move to?
So moved to Brisbane.
Whereabouts? Southside?
Always lived Southside. Holland Park. So I grew up in Holland Park. 4121 all the way.
Represent.
Yep. Grew up, went to Marshall Road State School. Had to walk there every day, walk home. I talk to my kids about it now because they whinge about catching the bus. I'm like, mate, what are you talking about? You had to walk a few Ks. Like, it was long for little legs. But I don't know how far it was. I'd have to Google map it, but
it felt like a long way.
It felt like a long time, a long way when you're like, small. But so I went to Marshall Road and then stayed, which is in Holland Park, and then went to Holland Park High. So really just grew up in the same neighbourhood, same friends. And that's what I mean. My childhood was relatively just normal. It wasn't a bad neighbourhood. It was pretty good middle class neighbourhood. So
when did your two other brothers come along?
So I think I'm terrible with birthdays and ages. So I'm 43. My younger brother is 38. I don't know, man. I can't remember. They're like,
a few years younger than you.
Yeah, not far, like five years behind me. And then the other one's probably 7 or whatever. Like,
still hung out and stuff.
Still hung out. Yeah, my brother underneath me, we're really close. We've always been close. And then the youngest brother, he's like, I don't know. It was sort of the other way around. You know, have like middle child syndrome, but he had like that, but he was the youngest. So even though he was the baby, he I think he carried on or acted like he was the middle child. I don't know. He just didn't get in. He was always the outcast from us. Like me and my other brother, younger than me, we were really close, super close. Like played together, full nerds. Played Nintendo and stuff like all the time. There was only 2 controllers, so that's probably what the problem was. So the youngest one sort of was like had to wait his turn. But we grew up. We had a really good upbringing. Heaps of family holidays. Went away. Dad's family lived in Sydney, so we're always down there at Chrissy. And Easter holidays we'd go down the coast and stay somewhere down the coast. So pretty good upbringing.
Close family unit.
Yeah, we were really close. Mum was both parents worked. Dad was very successful in his career and was in the same career since he left tertiary, so uni basically, or tech they called it back then, I suppose, or down in Sydney anyway.
TAFE, I think they called tech.
I think it was tech from in their era. So after you go to school, you go to tech and learn a trade maybe in Sydney. Yeah,
that's like TAFE courses.
Yeah. So he moved up, made the decision to move up to Papua New Guinea. To Queensland to chase his career, which was massive, I think, for him. And it's probably maybe a surprise to the family. So he made the move. He had a plan. and he executed it. He went and he moved to Papua New Guinea as well. Worked there, came back. He always told me that he had a goal to own his own house by the time he was 40, which he did, had it paid off.
Owned it outright by the time he was 40?
Yeah, yep. So
back in the good old days when you fucking houses cost $3 and a fucking stamp.
Baby boomer situation. So, like, yeah. But he was smart. Like, he was always smart with money. Like, king with money. Just knew he was very, like, budgeted everything, and mum was happy to go along with it. Like, so he was the patriarch of the family.
So make him a bit of a Scrooge with fucking, can I have this? Can I have that? No, we have got no money.
Sort of, but not necessarily, because he was smart with money, hard worker, career driven, but he was a creature of comfort, like loved to drink, loved to party. So like he had this, like he had the work-life balance spot on, like sorted out before it was even a thing. So he would work hard, and because of his work ethic and financial maturity, I suppose, all through his life, he managed to be able to be available for us at home. So he never brought his work home with him. Not that I never noticed, but obviously always went leaps and bounds in his career. For as long as I can remember, he was always had his own office. You know what I mean? Was like the boss, I suppose. And but he always, he loved to have a drink. He loved footy, like league. He loved going to the pub. So yeah, he knew that even though he was such a hardworking person in his career, there was that side of him, and then there was also he was a dad. He was a mate. He was a local at the pub, and had his local friends there. So the pub local. So he was one of those. Went to the same pub for 30, 40 years, like all the same blokes.
There's furniture. Yeah,
and it was like, and I think that stemmed from a generational thing, and not history repeating, but our pop was the same. Like he loved to drink beer. Like it was never really hard liquor, it was just beer. But he was always down the pub, well known down the pub, well respected, blah, blah, blah. So dad was the same.
Didn't stop with you either. That was I
don't know.
That was you back in the day as well.
Yeah.
Hanging in the pub, fucking
the
Malgravat Hotel, fucking
Malgravat. Yep. Malgravat was our drinking hole, and and that was the same thing. So it was probably the same thing what dad, came from too. Like, and then obviously me and my brothers were the same. So dad was always like, when we're older, come up to the pub for a beer after work. So yeah, we did, and then we'd spend, he'd go, they'd have their routine. So, it was rarely during the week. He'd have beer in the fridge, but he would work during the week. Saturday morning, he'd do his odd jobs around the house every weekend. And then come lunchtime, the jobs is finished, and it'd be shit, shower and shave. Let's go to the pub for the afternoon. Footy was on. Have a few beers with all the guys, watch a footy, maybe get a bit pissed, and then catch a cab home. And then Sunday we'll just chill out as a family.
You're pretty close with him when you were growing up?
Yeah. Cool. Yeah, really close. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. He actually it's interesting now, and we'll probably get to this a bit later, but through conversations with counsellors that I've had, with mates for mates and that, like we've identified that I held dad up to on a pedestal, I suppose. So I always had high standards for myself because I was trying so hard. At one point when I was younger to make him proud, but then later in life was to get to where he was at in his life. I wanted to be there as well because in my eyes, I always compared myself to him in his life, and you always want to, and he had a great life, you know what I mean? Like from the outside looking in and growing up and holding him as a mentor and as like a hero, like most Australian kids hold their dads.
Your gauge for success.
Yeah. So I feel like I was trying to measure up to him, and maybe that was not realistic. So
Yeah, right.
maybe it kind of was a negative thing in a way, because instead of living my own life, I was always trying to get to this pinnacle of this mountain, or peak of this mountain, where I thought that he sat at his age, now that I'm his age when I was that young, sort of thing. So yeah. But yeah, maybe it was not. It's not real. Like, I suppose it is in a statistical, factual sense. When you look at him, where he was at in his life at this age, he owned his own house, had the family, had the company car, had the work-life balance, was middle class. I'd say probably upper middle class, to be honest. So he was comfortable in his life. There was, and I don't know because I wasn't mum, but I don't know what stresses they had financially at the time, but I feel like it was probably minimal or compared to what I'm going through myself. So maybe I was sort of inadvertently setting myself up all the time for failure, because I was never sort of going to get to where he was, but I was always striving to. So maybe I was working against myself.
What about back in the day, back in high school and stuff, when you were sort of idolizing him? Were you like getting jobs and doing any entrepreneurial stuff, or what were you doing back in school?
So he instilled a good work ethic in all of us boys growing up. And even if it was just like work around the house. So we'd be out there every Saturday. Mum would be like, go help your dad. So we'd just do it because we were told to. Pretty strict household when I think about it now. And I've always sort of had that in the back of my mind, that out of all my friends, I feel like I had probably the strictest household, which was fine, because I think, and not to be judgmental, but some of my mates, and I'd go sleep over their house, and you could see the contrast and the difference from your life compared to their living. You know what I mean? It was like a little snapshot of like,
this is what it'd be like if it wasn't so strict.
Yeah, and then growing up, you sort of notice that a bit more, and then you can sort of see these blokes that you grow up with, your mates, and then the path that they choose growing up. And you think, oh, yeah, I can see how that happened. Like, you don't want to be, and I'm not trying to be mean, but I think it's just like, it's just what it is.
Yeah,
what it is.
Product of their environment.
Exactly. Yeah. So for us, and probably for me personally, and like I said, I can't speak for my brothers, but I feel like Dad set us up pretty well.
What about Novanka?
Yeah, so she went to boarding school.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so she went to boarding school in Charters Towers, and so she didn't really come back home. She'd come back home for holidays, but she didn't live with us until after she finished school. Then she moved back home in Brisbane.
Whose idea was that?
I think our biological father sent her to boarding school.
Okay.
And I think that's a pretty common thing for Papua New Guinea.
Is he happy to go?
I don't know. I guess I don't know. I'd have to ask her. I actually haven't spoken to her about that either. But I think you describe it, and it is what it is. She just goes to boarding school. Like, cool, whatever. I go here, but So she came back home. I suppose that was a little bit weird because she didn't grow up with us living in the house. She'd just come home for holidays, and then she'd be off again back to boarding school. So
yeah, almost like a guest.
Yeah, a little bit. Yeah, I guess that's your sister, but you sort of just only see it holiday time. But yeah, so I think, but we were really close, obviously, because we're biological siblings. So we've always been very close. That's always been there, even though she wasn't living with us. But yeah, back to Dad. He brought us all. He brought myself and my sister up like we were his own, and that's just the type of person he was. And I know that I've got a blended family, and it has its challenges. So I give credit to him for being the man who he is, to be able to do that, to look past that. This isn't my biological child, but I love him. I'm going to treat him and raise him like he's my own. And I think that's a big...
As you become a parent, you can sort of appreciate that yourself.
Yeah, absolutely, 100%. So I've had to do it. And it is a struggle. And it's not how you think it's going to go, but sometimes you just can't help that. It's just...
Because you got other parents involved and different
You've either got other parents involved, or it's just the it's just a thing where it's like you have to. Yeah, I think it's just a personality thing. I think it's either in you or you have to work at it real hard. Some people, like my dad, obviously came to him easy. I've had to work at it. Like it's and you'll ask any blended family, it's not easy. It depends on what age they come in too, I suppose. If they're little babies, it's easy. If they're a little bit older, it's a little bit harder. And if they're even older, then it's probably
that'd be real tough.
Yeah, because you don't know how they are feeling towards you. If they're old and they know what's going on, they might be a bit. They might push back.
13's pretty old, especially if she went to boarding school. It would have been pretty hard to build that sort of stepdad connection.
Yeah, I think. Yeah, and like I said, I'll probably have to ask her. It's not something that I've even
speak on her behalf.
Yeah, I don't know, maybe. But he made it easy. He made it easy for her to feel like part of the family, even though she wasn't there for a lot of it, majority of it. So
sounds like a good man.
She loves him dearly. So do I. We all do. He passed away, unfortunately, a few years back. But yeah, like I said, he was the cornerstone of our family, and we've felt that since his passing. So our family dynamics sort of changed since he's gone. So yeah.
How's your mum doing?
She's all right. She's good. She's just getting on with it now. I think that hole will always be there, and you'd probably ask anyone that their partner's passed away, long-term partner, life partner. It doesn't go away. It's just you just get on with life.
Yeah,
but the hole's always there. But she's going all right. We ended up selling the house, our childhood house we grew up in, purely because it was just too big for her to manage on her own. She's getting older now, so the upkeep was way too much. So it was a 2-story house, and then there was a pool, and it was just massive. And where Dad would do all the handyman stuff and maintenance and upkeep,
none of you guys wanted to buy it.
None of us were in the position to, I suppose. And Mum needed to move into something smaller, where she could live comfortably. So, like back to like a 1-story house where she could manage the upkeep. And so she sold the house and then bought another one. And now she's living closer to me, which is good. She's only down the road, so I can go and see whenever she needs me. We hang out heaps more because she's around the corner. So she's good. She's just enjoying her retirement, which is without Dad, unfortunately. It wasn't the way that she or we would have liked, what we wished for it. But yeah, that's just life. So Dad passed away from cancer, and so now she's just finding a new way of life without him. But she still has us kids to support her.
That's good. She's got you guys in her life.
Yeah. And that's getting more and more. As she's getting older, we're having to be more involved because now we're looking after her. So which is fine. That's what you do for your parents. But yeah, so it's going good. Gavin, my other youngest brother's living with her at the moment, which is good. So she's got company.
Oh, that's good, yeah.
Yeah, so it's all, everything's pretty sweet. We're just sort of just getting on with it.
Nice.
As best as we can, I suppose.
All right, so backtracking, when did you decide to join the military? And
all right, so it's kind of
so you finished school.
Yeah, mine's
did you get a job?
Mine's kind of a weird trajectory that I ended up in the military. So back to that. Dad instilled us good work ethic. I was still in high school. Dad's like, get a job, got to start earning money. Yep, sweet. So I got a job at Macca's like everyone does. And Dad was like,
fuck that.
I think Dad was like, just get any job. So so I did it. And then Dad's like, you need to study more, quit your job. I'm like,
what the fuck?
Rightio, I'm so confused. But
while you were at school, you mean?
Yeah. So studied, finished school, graduated high school, went to TAFE, did diploma of recreational fitness because I wanted to be a PT. actually, no, sorry, I'll start again. I didn't know what I wanted to do after school. I just knew I loved sport, and that was it. I didn't really have a goal. You know, you come to grade 12, and then all of a sudden school's finished, and you got to become an adult and grow up and get a job. Some people have ambitions to be things and do things, and I was always like a C grade student, so I wasn't super smart. I was middle of the road. I passed barely, but
was that with all your effort, or you weren't really interested?
no, I think I did try. I just wasn't academically.
Yeah,
like I wasn't an academic. I was a sportsman.
Yeah.
So I loved sports, and that was my strength.
What sports you play?
So through school, I did all the normal sports. So whatever season it was, I did basketball, loved basketball, played footy, got smashed because I was little. But I tried anyway, whatever. But I love rugby league, so I just did it. But basketball was probably the big one. Love basketball from grade 4. I'd done taekwondo. Oh, yeah. So Dad got me into taekwondo, and I did that from grade 4 till I was...
Grade 4, what's that, 9 years old?
Yeah, about 9, yep, till I was probably 19. So I did it for a year after I left high school. So did it for 10, 11 years.
Yeah.
And was pretty good at it. So like...
Can confirm, I've seen you doing fucking standing backflips in Crocs.
Yeah. Yeah, it helps.
And fucking pink fucking leotards and shit.
Yeah. Yeah, so taekwondo helped with that.
Gave you some good party tricks.
Yeah, I love martial arts. Like, fucking love martial arts. Like, I was like, anything martial arts growing up, I was all about it. So Bruce Lee was idol. Love Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, whatever. Like anything martial arts, I was there for it. So, yeah. But yeah, so that drove me to excel in taekwondo. So I just grew up, eat, live, breathe martial arts.
Yeah. I can understand that.
So yeah, so it was my passion growing up. That's why I did it for my whole schooling career. Did all the other bits and pieces, sports and that, whatever. I love surfing as well, so I did that as I got in my older teen years. But yeah, so left school, didn't know what to do, wasn't academic, loved sports, so let's just do a diploma of fitness, see where that takes me. So it sounded attractive on paper when you're sort of starting to look at your tertiary education.
How long was that for?
So it's only a 2-year course.
That's fucking pretty legit.
Yeah, it's 2 years and you just be a PT, and then you sort of like get sort of semi-work in a gym across the road from South Bank TAFE after you finish.
Oh, that one,
yeah. So, but met some really cool people, lecturers, met some amazing lecturers. Like probably the smartest bloke I've ever met in my life was my anatomy and physiology lecturer, Niels Larson. So he was amazing. Like that bloke alone blew me away, but there was also other cool lecturers and mentors at the time in those formative years that you sort of think, oh, this guy's pretty cool. Like, you know, like he sort of starts opening your eyes to the bigger world now that you've left school where it was so insular and small, and you come out and you're just with random chicks and dudes at TAFE, and you're just going to TAFE and you're just learning how to find your feet in the real world. So that was pretty cool. And yeah, so in that time I was going to the pub. I was sort of just starting to go clubbing. Actually, I was going clubbing, at that stage. Yeah. So anyone in Brisbane, I was going to Mary Street. Sort of like
fucking hell, I forgot about Mary Street.
Like every Thursday night, it was like uni night or whatever. So I was like $1 drinks.
Yeah, I used to love fucking.
So many Thursday night just blind in Mary Street.
I used to have like those cover girls from those fucking magazines. What were those like sort of half sexy magazines, like Maxim or something?
Yeah, Maxim and Picture. And I don't know, that's pretty low, isn't it? Picture Mag.
No, not the porn ones.
Oh, I don't know. Oh, Maxim. I don't read Maxim.
I like supermodel fucking thing. They used to always go to Mary Street and fucking you do like photo ops with them and shit.
Oh, I don't know. I was too blind probably. I can't remember.
It's like $1 drinks.
Yeah, I was too I was too
Before the-
preoccupied to
before
smash
the
dollar
fucking,
drinks.
what do you call it? Responsible service of alcohol before that shit came into play.
Yeah, pass out in toilets, like full vomiting, like on the sly, and then back into it.
Yeah. Fucking hell, I did that last year.
Yeah, waking up in the toilet stall and the club's shut and the lights are all on, and you're just like, fuck. All right, I gotta go. So and some bloke's like smashing on the door, get out, clean up. Yeah, that happened a couple of times actually. So, but yeah, so early adulthood. So I left school, just doing the normal thing, going through the motions. So tertiary education. So that's what you do. You go to TAFE. You're 18. You start going to clubs, drinking, carrying on like Wally, pissing your pay up against the wall, meeting all these new people.
What pay? Where are you getting money from?
So what was I doing? I don't even know what I was doing for work at that time. I think I was just bartending, to be honest, at that time. Yeah, no, I was. Yeah, I was bartending. I was bartending at Camp Hill Hotel, I think.
No, that's what you did after the pass.
I did it after the pass, yeah. So I don't know what I was doing before then. Well, I don't know what I was doing. Doing something. So I was maybe I was getting by somehow. I can't remember actually, to be honest, which is really weird because I was doing TAFE, had to have been working somewhere to be able to go out drinking.
Just put it in front of your face.
Like that.
Yeah, there you go.
Sorry. And yeah, so I can't remember what I was doing at the time. I worked heaps of odd jobs. Weird, like, yeah. I did cleaning. I was a cleaner.
Did you do any PT? You said you became a personal trainer. Did you use it?
No. So, I was working at that. I think it was called like Thor's Gym or some shit across the road from South Bank, across the road from the what's that entertainment centre there, like across the road from the
Cultural Centre.
Yeah, the
Performing Arts Centre.
Yeah, where they had functions and everything.
Yeah,
just
Cultural Centre
on Grey Street. Anyways,
Convention
Centre. Yeah, so there was a gym called I think it was called Thor's Gym. Can't remember. Across the road. So you work there. I was working there, and then that didn't last long. So I think the point of my story where I was getting at, like, I was also at the same time I was drinking a lot. Like which everyone does at that age. You sort of go, you're either going clubbing or you're either drinking or you're smoking weed at the time. So drugs weren't a big thing at that stage in my life anyway. There was always weed. That was probably it, really. Anyway, in my circle. So it was just drinking piss and you're either a stoner or you drink. So I was drinking. I won't get into too much, but I ended up going off the rails a little bit. And probably it was actually after. So it was after an incident that occurred. And after this incident, I ended up, cut a long story short. Otherwise,
don't cut the story short. What happened?
Well,
a drinking incident. You got fucked up and did something.
Yeah, no, not really. Actually, drinking was involved. I was at the pub one night, and I ended up catching a lift home with a bloke from after the pub. He was an acquaintance, wasn't a friend, but an acquaintance, and offered a lift home. I was like, yeah, sweet, whatever. Don't have to catch a cab. Got home the next day, cops rocked up at my house. I'm like, and Dad's like, answered the door. I was still asleep. Dad's like, come downstairs. So I'm like, yeah, sweet, whatever. There's police down here that want to talk to you. I was like, what? What do you mean? Like, that's random. Okay. So I come downstairs. Oh, Mr. Mead, you want to come down to the station with us? We want to have a chat. So we're all freaking out. Like, I don't know what's going on. Dad's like, full freaking out, not going, what the fuck's going on? Because we've never, ever had the police in our life at any capacity whatsoever.
Yeah.
Ever. So this is all just like so random and we're all just like,
what the fuck's going on?
What the fuck's going on? It's so weird. So we're like, okay, yeah, we'll just, being who we are, law-abiding family, we'll go down there. So I go down there, I go with the police. Mum and Dad, I think, followed maybe.
Did they arrest you or just?
No, just jumped in the car.
Yeah.
I don't think there was any need for arrests. Probably because we were compliant. I don't know how it works, whatever. So we just went down the station. So we had a chat. I was in interrogation. They basically spelled out that there was an incident that occurred the night before, and which implicated that this bloke that got charged implicated me in it.
The one that drove you home.
The one that drove me home. And then turns out it was arson. So, and entry with intent, willful damage, and all the other shit that comes with it. Anyways, I ended up going into the lockup that night to face a judge the next morning.
Yeah.
So I don't think I was formally charged, but there was charges pending. So I had to go to court the next day, got released on bail with conditions, and mum and dad, obviously this is in the city lockup, watch house, yeah. So I got out the next morning after facing the judge, who granted me bail with conditions, charges pending the court trial, whatever you want. I don't even know how it fucking works, to be honest. Sort of makes sense, if that makes sense. And mum and dad were at the watch house to pick me up. So I was in the watch house that night, faced the judge, got let out. Mum and dad were outside. Fucking camera crews were there. Like,
fuck? What did he burn down?
A school building.
Oh, fuck.
So camera crews were there with mum and dad filming. This is Channel 7, and Channel 9, whatever. And I'm coming out like what you see on the news. I'm standing in this fucking door going, how the fuck you get out of this place? I didn't know I had to push a button to let myself out. So I pushed the button, get out. Mum and dad come and get me. These fucking camera crews are chasing us down the fucking street to the car.
What the fuck? So obviously you didn't get charged because you were fucking ended up in the Navy.
Yeah, so this got broadcast on the news. And our name got dragged through the mud.
So what happened?
So this went on for the case kept getting adjourned and adjourned and adjourned for a good 12 months or something. Could have been longer. It was a long time. And my bail conditions were I had to go to the cop shop every day to sign in.
What the fuck?
Every day.
How old were you? 18?
Yeah, 19 maybe.
Yeah.
Yeah, 18, 19. Anyway, so yeah, it was on the news. So everyone fucking seen it. So I'm talking about my closest friends, their families. Everyone's seen it.
And they say you were like a suspect or allegedly fucking Duane's done this.
So the name was on television, got dragged through the mud. So it just destroyed us.
Fuck.
And
how'd you get out of it?
Well, because I didn't do it. So
how did it end?
They just threw the case out because there was no evidence. But it fucked me for like a good year or two or whatever, however long it lasted.
It caught up in the system, yeah.
And the implications or the consequences of that incident, the ripple effect, I lost all my mates.
Really?
So all my best friends at the time didn't know what to think. So to me, where I thought they were my best mates and would have my back, turned their backs on me.
Fuck.
So they're gone. Their families don't want to know you. So even those relationships with their parents, my whole childhood growing up, gone. Our names tarnished. Dad didn't know what to believe because, like, what do you think in this kind of situation? So I'm talking about the time that I got picked up that day from the watch house, went home, and then Dad didn't know what to believe.
Mm.
And to me, because I held him so highly in regard,
that was crushing.
Destroyed me. So I ended up running away from home. I ended up skipping home because I'd lost everything.
Where'd you go?
Just to the street. I was just living on the street. I knew people. I sort of couch surfed for a little bit through acquaintances and friends that weren't my closest friends, but they were friends. And I suppose maybe, I don't know, maybe they were indifferent. They were just, I don't know. Yeah, they didn't have big opinions. I guess they just were like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
You know, it's just, I don't know. Yeah.
Some people, yeah, don't care what you do.
They don't care, yeah. They're just living their own life.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I guess that was the biggest thing for me. So that's where I was come back to my point of going off the rails.
Yeah.
Like I full went off, like I fucking left the fucking station and I'm fucking off the rails completely.
So you got no faith in the system or in fucking society or your friendship groups or anything anymore.
Anything. Everything was out the window.
Yeah.
And to me, I was like, what the fuck? Like, and to a point where, yeah, I started drinking to self-medicate to stop feeling the pain. So the easiest way to get through it was just to be drunk all the time. And so that's all I was looking for, was just to, I guess, is just to stop the hurt, like the pain. So all I wanted to do was be working so I had enough money to buy grog so I could just get pissed. That was it for a good couple of years.
Yeah.
And yeah, that was a good solid 2 years, I think. I ended up moving out with a mate and his girlfriend. We ended up in a flat, like a little flat somewhere in Maruka. Which is really weird in a way, because I formed bonds with this circle of friends. They were from high school as well, but I formed these strong bonds with them through that period. We weren't delinquents, like we weren't doing anything bad or illegal or anything like that, but we just weren't really going anywhere. You know, we were sort of just going through the motions. We were just drinking, smoking weed, just like rapping Wu-Tang all day. Like that was it for a good 6 months.
Probably didn't seem that bad at the time either.
At the time, it was sweet for me because I was like, it was a distraction.
Yeah.
And like I was saying, I was forming these friendships with people that didn't judge me.
You still friends with them today?
Yeah, still friends with them today. Admittedly, some of them are still in that position, like then haven't moved. I can see some of them have tried to do a lot of work on themselves, which is pretty cool to see. But some of them just, it just didn't go. It was always going to go the way that it was going, and where they are now is like, it's unfortunate and sad because they didn't get out of it. But
there's a lot of times there's people like you or me that we're traveling on our journey towards something, and there's all these people that are sort of just plateauing, and we sort of join that for a little bit, get what we need out of it, and then move on to the bigger and better things that we're sort of destined for.
I think I did that, but I held those people so close that even though I moved on, I always want to keep in touch with them, even if it's not like all the time. But I want to make sure that that I'm still there for them if they need me, because they were there for me at my probably lowest point.
You needed them, yeah.
Yeah, so I respect them, and I would never judge. I always, my silver lining from that is that, I'll never judge anyone ever, because like everyone knows, everyone's got their own battles. No one knows what anyone's been through. You don't know what anyone's going through day to day. So I'll never judge anyone that I meet, whether they're rich, poor, whatever. Because I think it's so easy to dismiss someone because it's so easy just to be prejudiced and be like, oh, I don't want to have anything.
They're beneath me.
Yeah. But for me, all those people that are not beneath me, because I never think anyone's beneath me, but all those people that are downtrodden, having a hard time, or not getting, not having a good crack at life, I've always got the time of day for anyone, because from my lowest low, I was lucky enough to have people that gave me the time of day.
Yeah.
So I always want to make sure that I'm always checking myself, that I'm going to be that person for whoever it is at any given day that might need someone to talk to, or I try not to give too much advice. Back in the day when I was younger, I used to always try and give advice to people that were, struggling. But I think everyone's got their own journey.
Yeah, 100%.
I think it's more important just to be there for someone now rather than trying to, be giving advice where it might not work for them. What worked for you and got you out of a situation might not be what they need.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, so, yeah.
I'm always in two minds about it, eh? Like, on one hand, you're like, I went through some really fucking hard times. I had support from people that didn't judge me, which, I find are the most amazing people in the world, and I love to death. And then it helped me propel me forward, by them leading by their example and their sort of light of what a good person or a good life looks like. But then, like you said, you've got the other people that never get out of that rut. And you're like, all right, so this person that I want to support and help, are they the person that's never going to change? Or are they the person that is like me and is going to, my help will help them get somewhere? So I'm always like, oh, fucking, what do I do? Do I give this person my time and attention, or do I just accept that they're on their journey and let them do them? But
it's a hard thing to do because if you're the type of person that wants to help, it's sometimes you don't have a choice. Like sometimes there's people in your life, and especially when you've got a family that you've got to protect as well.
Yeah, exactly.
You can't have these people in your life.
There's so much, how much time do you have? Like, am I going to invest my time into this person, or am I going to invest my time into my friends and my family and the people I love?
There's a balance, but there's also the element of these people aren't good for me,
yeah, there's that too, yeah.
To be, not personally for me, but for my family. Like, there's a lot you got to consider when taking on other people's shit, because it's how involved you want to get. Like, I will always have the time of day for these people in my life that struggle, but I have to keep them at arm's length.
Yeah.
Because then, their situations may not be good for me to be taking on.
Yeah.
Because it doesn't necessarily fit well into my situation with, I've got little kids.
Yeah, exactly.
All this kind of stuff. So like,
you're not going to bring them into your house and, you go meet them.
But I'll always be there for them.
Yeah.
And I'm always there for a chat. Always a phone call away. Sometimes I'm full slack and I'll say, I'll call you, but I just don't get around to it because you just don't think, because you're just so busy with life.
Yeah, nice.
But every now and again, I'll be like, fuck, I've got to call that bloke. I fucking, I told him I was going to catch up with him, and you feel like a slack C-bomb, but
C-bomb.
you're just like, I don't know. But yeah, so anyway,
just got to start a podcast, bro, then you can talk for hours.
Yeah, really could, eh? And I'm a big advocate for it too. Like, just talking's massive. But going back to, went off the rails.
I never even have to fucking change course. You're like, anyway, going back to where I was.
Yeah, I went off the rails. And so fast forward 2 years, the case gets thrown out. Oh, sorry, hang on, pause for a second. I was living I was couch surfing with people. Mum finally convinced Dad to let me back home, which was huge. So I'm like, sweet. Like,
you're like 21 at a time.
I'm 20.
Yeah.
So I'm 20. I go back home, move back home. I'm full, like, skinny, got mental health issues because I drank through my depression, full self-destructive behavior, didn't care about anything really. It was just I was at the end, really. Like, who gives a fuck if I live or die, sort of thing. But Mum was always there for me, so Mum would always sneak around, and Dad's not here now, but that Mum would sneak behind Dad's back to come make sure that I was all right, swing me $20 here and there, shout me lunch or whatever, make sure I'm eating and make sure I'm okay. So she finally said, yep, Dad said you can come back home now. So I came back home and sort of was at a bit of a crossroads because I didn't know what to do with myself. I was still sort of, still had pretty bad mental health. So it was like a time where I was sort of nursing myself back to health in a way. And then so back to the case got thrown out. So at that point, we all broke down because it had been going on for 2 years. So Dad got the call. I remember to this day, got the call. He's started crying. We're like, what? And he's like, it's over. And then we're like, wow, like what now? And at that time, yeah, like I said, I was not really doing much with myself. So Dad's like, why don't you join the Navy like your granddad?
Right, who's your granddad that was in?
Yeah, so Pop served on the first HMAS Adelaide and was in World War II. And yeah, he obviously didn't speak too much about it, but once I had joined, he opened up to me, and I got some pretty cool stories from him and his time in. And yeah, so I said, yeah, okay, like, let's do it. Like, I had no direction, and I'd never considered a defence force. So at that point in time, I was like, I just got to do something. And so I joined, and I got in. And I think that was the point where I was like, where you felt you had a sense of self-worth. Getting in, just getting into an intake was massive for me, because I'm like, it was the first positive thing that had happened in my life for so long. So I got into my intake, and yeah.
When was this?
2003. So March 2003.
What's up, you big bearded beauties? Sorry to interrupt your stream. Just wanted to have a quick chat about Jericho Australia. Jericho deals in top shelf beard care products. They're a veteran-owned and run organisation up in North Brisbane. They've got the whole spectrum of beard care products, from your oils, like this one here, Aussie Pride I'm wearing right now. Smells great. Devil's Rum's my favourite though. I've gone through a few of those. That keeps your skin feeling fresh underneath your beard, gets rid of that itch, and if you get dandruff as well. You got your beard butters, which are amazing. Put that on at night time, keeps the beard feeling nice and soft and fluffy. And missus will love it. And you got beard balm as well to tame the mange if you leave the house. They've also got a whole bunch of other stuff. You got some tools like this little handy little pocket brush I got here, pocket comb. They got wicked merch like this T-shirt I'm wearing, bearded, amongst other things. Apparently the cologne is amazing as well. I'm going to get myself some of that. But yeah, you want to try out Jericho, jump on this code. So it's jerichoaustralia.com/discount/the Grey Man Podcast. Jump on, and that'll give you 15% off your cart, and you're good to go. Cheers. What'd you get in as?
I applied as a divvy, so I applied as a bosun. I read all the rates and went, bosun's it. That's me. Like,
It's clear.
Yeah. I don't want to do anything else really. There's nothing else that really sort of stood out to me. And like I said, I knew my limits as far as academia goes. So I'm not going to be an ET or MT or whatever. I'm like,
just sniff paint on the fucking...
If I was in the army, I'd be a grunt. So I'll join the Navy. I'm going to be a divvy. I'm going to be a bosun.
Yeah. What happened?
Sorry, Mr. Mead. This intake's full. We've got enough recruitment. We've got enough bosuns in this intake, but I just wanted to get in.
Yeah.
I'm like, I've just got to get in. I'm like, what do you got? Cook, steward. But you can change rate later. Oh, yeah, sweet. Just put me in steward. I'm not a fucking cook. So I went in as a steward with the intention to change rates later. So March 2003, I'm on the bus down to fucking Cerberus. And yeah, that's where it began. And
how'd that feel on that bus?
Weird, eh? Like full weird. I'm like, because you're alone. You're doing this alone. You're not doing it with mates. You don't know anyone. I've never left Queensland or lived anywhere outside of Queensland. So I'm like, okay, I'm off to Melbourne. I know it's good for me. Like, this is what needs to happen. And I was excited. Like I was full pumped. Like I wanted to. I'm like, let's get this. Let's do it. Let's go. So yeah, I remember flying down there, getting on the bus from the airport on the bus to Cerberus. I think everyone probably remembers that trip. Sitting next to randoms, you're just like, fuck, like, okay, this is happening. So, and your Kellicks and all that and shit at the airport waiting for you. They're like, oh, yeah, hey, how you going? Get on the bus and all this kind of shit. And then you're driving down. I remember driving down the driveway, looking at these fucking at the trees. Then as you're driving in, yeah, and you're like, fuck, like, okay,
honesty, courage, integrity, loyalty.
Yep, that's the ones. Fuck, do I can remember them now? But yeah, oh, they're in the back. They're deep in the back there. Yeah, but yeah. So
changed now anyway.
Got there. I was in Waller Court, Waller House, whatever you call it. I think it was Rankin Waller.
No, Class. Yeah, Class.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Whatever they were.
I'm saying army now with lines and squads and stuff.
What were you in?
So I went through Cerberus. I did like a 1.5 because I broke my hand. I ended up in the hospital for 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And so I got backclassed into. So I started in Rankin. I got backclassed into Getting.
Oh yeah, yeah. Okay, so I was in Waller. You quickly make friends with whoever, like, you're just there all together, just like no one knows anyone. You make those connections. It was bizarre. Don't get me wrong. Like, you do all the things.
Did you have hair?
Shave your head.
Did you have hair when you got there?
I had hair. I didn't have an afro at that stage. That was gone. But I had hair. I had curly hair. So then do the whole shave your head. Go get your kit issued. Yeah, and you're in. Like it's begun. It's
How'd you find it?
I found it easy because I like just doing what I'm told. So I don't have to think.
Yeah.
Like, to me, it was easy. You just do what you're told. Be here at this time. Whatever. Like,
yeah,
piece of piss. It's the easiest job that I've ever had to do because everything's laid out for you.
Yeah.
The business model of the Defence Force for anyone is that's it. Just do what you're told and be on time.
Yeah.
And you can't really go wrong unless you're a full slack cunt. And then you're like, well, they're the ones that you don't want.
Yeah.
Because, like they always say,
there's plenty of the country out there.
You weed those ones out because you don't, in time of crisis, you don't want these blokes beside you. So
try and get rid of them before the end of recruit school.
Yeah. So keeping in mind when I got in, so I spent my 21st birthday at Cerberus, at recruit school. So that was like poo, but I had a party before I left anyway. So full got loose before I left. And brings me to where I was alluding to. My point is when I joined, I was still heavily drinking.
Yeah.
And drugs were involved by this stage too. So pingers were around by this stage. And
before you left?
Before I left.
Yeah.
So I was full heavily into drinking and drugs. And that's purely just through clubbing. But yeah, I was never addicted. I was just loved it. So I just loved to party as everyone did at the time. And so when I left, there was a big part of my life. So going from that to recruit school is
dry.
Basically cold turkey.
You could smoke. Did you smoke back then?
Yeah, smoke durries like till the cows came home.
Yeah.
Like it was going out of fashion. Love durries.
Did you get smoke breaks back then?
Yeah. Yep. Yeah, I still remember smoking up the. Well, I don't even know what that fucking building is called.
The one at the top there.
Yeah, the top there, yeah.
Fucking hell.
Just punching darts hard with everyone else. And but yeah, so I was full still in a bad way as far as my mental health, drinking, taking drugs. Pretty reckless, to be honest.
You had your first, what do you got to do, like 3 or 4 weeks before you get your first leave pass?
Yeah,
So it would have been, you're pretty dry for a while.
I must have been.
It didn't,
It's because they would have drug tested you before you got in as well.
yeah.
So I don't know. I passed.
Yeah, so you
Don't
cleaned
ask me how.
yourself up. So you
Yeah.
fucking, yeah. So you had a bit of a stint of nothing.
Yeah. I think, yeah. So by the time I got in, and it wasn't a big deal to me because I was, like I said, I wasn't really like addicted or anything. It was just a recreational thing for me. But I loved it. But I got in and I was fully committed to the process. And I did all the things.
You're a good sailor. They like.
I embraced it. Like, did real random, like not random, but like did all the gammon shit, like where people are full cringe. Like, I was full chari, like hardcore loved it. Like I was like, this is my life. I'm in. This is me. Like I'm doing this forever. Because I felt like I belonged to something.
Yeah.
And like I said, it was another big turning point in my life where, like, yeah, for the first time I felt like I had solid group of mates again. Like, these are not my friends. We're family.
New family, yeah.
My new family, and that was massive. It was huge. And I watched blokes that came in with me, the same intake, that were the same, that had brought a lot of baggage with them. And I watched them through that whole recruit process, and they struggled hard. Like, I think some of them were probably drug addicts. Some of them were a bit older men. So I was 21, but there was blokes in there that were 30, 40, whatever. I think probably the oldest, I think, was looked like he was 40 something, maybe. He was going in as an MT, but he had fucking bad mental health, and it showed. And it only showed when we got to start having leave and drinking.
Oh yeah.
So when the piss got involved, shit would come out like the fucking it would spoil over. All this shit that the blokes had been holding down, or pushing down, like it all came out.
It's surprising how many people went through recruit school that didn't actually stick around, eh?
Yes and no.
At the start, fucking lot of them dropped off.
Some of them dropped off. Some of them hung in there. I remember this one bloke. I won't say names, but he obviously came from a rough upbringing. He was rough as guts. Like, he was missing teeth and shit. Like, you could tell this bloke can fight. And he wasn't skinny. Like, he wasn't like junky. He was like just a big, solid bloke. But he just had a rough time, like rough life. And I feel like a lot of these blokes come through to try and sort themselves out. It's sort of a bit like a salvation for them.
Let anyone in back then.
Yeah, well, it was sort of like they had no other option. They probably couldn't assimilate into a workforce. Oh, that just wasn't for them. So Defence Force were probably maybe they thought was their only option. And I seen him come through, and this one bloke, he was awesome, nicest bloke you've ever met. He was really gentle natured, but he was rough as guts. And like, when he drank, you just didn't want to fuck with him.
Oh yeah, volatile.
Yeah, he was real friendly, but you knew if you were on the wrong side of him, you're in trouble. And there was another bloke he was the only one that could get through to him as well. So in this one in particular intake, and this other bloke, he was the only one that could talk him down when he was fucking peaking or whatever. But yeah, so it was just interesting seeing the different people come through. And to me, it was like, oh yeah, so everyone's got a story, and everyone.
How many people were there in an intake? Fucking, what'd you have? Upstairs and downstairs, chicks downstairs. So you have about 60 people?
Yeah, I was going to say like 80, but it could have been 60. I don't know, something like that. There's a lot. A lot of different personalities, a lot of different people straight out of school, old blokes, like there's full heaps of old heads in there too. So there's just this plethora of fucking people that just come from different backgrounds.
Oh yeah, fuck.
You're just like, oh shit, yeah. So it was a lot.
Rich kids down to fucking street kids.
Yeah. And I don't know, man. It's like if they put cameras in there like a reality show, like full on, like it was like an experiment because you're trapped in this fucking building for 3 months and you just like got to fucking live with each other. And when they start introducing piss and you're just like, fuck, here we go. Like for the drama, mate, if you could show it on television, like it was pretty fucking, it'd make fucking like it'd be a good watch for real. Like, yeah, because I remember just sitting back to sometimes going, "Holy fuck, these people are fucked up." Like, or yeah, I don't know. It was hard. It was hard. It was easy. The process was easy. People interaction was hard because you just had to get along.
Mm.
And sometimes some people have short fuses.
Yeah.
Some people just aren't extroverted. Some people are introverts. You sort of, it's a big melting pot.
Yeah, 100%.
So yeah.
What about you? Did you get into any shenanigans? What's any standout stories?
Oh man, I didn't get no.
Frankston,
Yeah.
RSL.
Yep. I didn't get into any. Okay, depends what you're calling shenanigans. The first liberty that we got, where we got to go into Frankston, was like what everyone does. Everyone just goes in straight to that fucking pub, just gets blind, catch a train back. But then I started, every time I used to get leave, it started to be like, okay, let's get out of Frankston. What else can we go see? Like, let's go into the city. And then I was back into those old habits of, I'm going to go find a club. You know, I'm going to find out where the drugs are.
Oh, really? Recruit school? I
Yeah.
never dreamed of doing anything crazy at recruit school.
Yeah, so I was like, that's what I mean.
Fat fingers.
That was, yeah, so that was how big of a part of my life it was at the time. So I carried that into recruit school. I used to go to Melbourne. I used to go to Melbourne City. I used to go to Hard Candy. I met blokes there, made connections. Yeah, was still taking pingers. Went to a couple of raves, and then always made it back. Let's say we were in cat school by this stage. Sorry, so recruit school. Sorry, yeah, recruit school. I left recruit school. Sorry, I tell fibs. Finished recruit school. We're into cat school now, where we've got heaps more leave.
Yeah.
So now, sorry, it wasn't
a bit more freedom.
School. Yeah, a bit more freedom. Sorry, yeah.
So you weren't fucking around in recruit school.
No, fucking around recruit school. It was just go to the Franks and get pissed and come back.
Yeah.
But yeah, sorry, jump the gun. So yeah, now I'm in cat school.
How long was your cat school?
Oh, fuck, man. It was only supposed to be like like a year, or I don't know, like a year or something. Because you did a cert. I did a cert 3 in hospitality.
Oh, yeah.
At Rosebud TAFE, but that was supposed to be it. But we had no posting, so I got fucking stuck at fucking Cerberus for fucking longer than I was supposed to. So we ended up just doing general duties at Cerberus for fucking ages. Oh,
so you got qualified and then you just had to wait out for a posting?
Yeah, because I had no postings. So it was fucking gay. Anyway, so yeah, so I was just fucking hitting it up hard while I was waiting for a posting. So I was basically still living on base. And yeah, I was just going out and just made those friendships in Melbourne and started doing all the fucking normal things again. So it was real weird. It was a weird time.
You didn't get any random drug testings on a Monday or anything?
Nah. So don't know how. Just lucky, I guess. When I think about it now in retrospect, I'm like, yeah, that's kind of fucking thank fuck, because I remember going even to like TAFE scattered, like when we was still doing our cat school training, like listening to
how to fold napkins and shit.
Yeah, I think I remember I was on the bus sitting in the back blasting headphones with Nick Fish. So yeah, still scattered from being in Melbourne the night before. Yeah, anyway, it was weird. And there was a lot of blokes doing it. It wasn't just me. I think it's pretty prevalent. Melbourne, probably fucking worse than Sydney, to be honest. The drugs in the Defence Force is like...
Oh, mate, yeah. I don't think that's ever been any other way. Maybe back in the early days when there was wars around and stuff, but
yeah, different then, obviously. But in our day, peacetime, pingers were pretty fucking huge at that time, early 2000s.
The drug culture. I'd never done a drug in my fucking life before I joined the Navy. Never. I never touched fucking anything.
I'll be honest.
I've never done a pill, never done coke, never touched anything.
Yeah, I was fully against drugs.
Yeah, my whole life I was like...
Up until probably... when I was probably 20, I think. So even when I was going through my hard times, living on the street, I was only drinking and smoking weed. That was it. I was fully against any other kind of drug until it got introduced to me one time, and then that was it. I was fucking holy shit! It's like opened my eyes up to this whole new world.
It's a whole new
world. It was crazy, and I was like, that was it. I was hooked. But carry this, and that was I think that was just a big thing socially anyway. Anywhere you lived, like pingers were huge, clubbing was huge. So I did a lot of that when I was in cat school. A lot of people did fucking everywhere. And I know that Sydney, I went to Sydney for part of my training as well. When I did my medical training.
Medical training? Yeah.
So when you were on the ship, I was part of the SMET team. Ship's medical emergency team. So we went to Sydney.
Once you had your posting.
Yeah, once I had my posting, we went to HMS Penguin to do our training. And it was the same there. All my mates that were in fucking Cerberus that got posted to Sydney, they're like, we all hooked up again and met up. And they were like, let's go out. I'm like, fuck, let's go. So, and everyone's just into it, like still. So it was nothing unique to anywhere. It was just everywhere.
So that was 2000 and what did you say? 2003 you got in. So that was 2004.
Must be 2004, yeah.
When did you get posted to Stirling?
Okay, so this is funny. I have to call this part out because it's the most randomest shit like ever. So finally got a posting. So they came up and said, all right, we got postings in Sydney and a posting in Western Australia at Perth. Which one do you want? I said, I've been to Sydney like fucking million times growing up. Don't care. Never seen Perth. I'm going there. Let's go. So I'll go to Perth. So I'm getting on the plane, walking down the aisle to go to Perth for my first posting. Trying to find my seat. Fucking looking at the numbers. Oh, yep, here we go. There's my seat here. Look down. Who's this cunt sitting in this fucking chair? Brett Waldorf. From a school. I'm like, what the fuck? I'm like, Sticky, what are you doing? And he's like, we were like freaking, both of us was like lost our minds because we hadn't seen each other since high school. So I sit down, I go, what are you doing? He goes, I'm just been on holidays and going back to Perth. And I'm like, oh. And he goes, what are you doing? I said, yeah, I'm in the Navy. I got posted to Perth. And he's like, so am I. I'm like, what the fuck? Are you fucking serious? So he's been on leave and he's going back.
Yeah.
And I'm just heading over there. So then I haven't seen this bloke since high school. We used to play basketball together. This is like after school at the basketball court down the park. Like we were tight. We used to smoke durries together. Like we're just, I hadn't seen him. I've been through all this shit in between and I hadn't seen him in all this time.
So he's lost touch and he joined the past.
In the meantime, he's been in the Navy the whole time, whatever, or however long. So
I think it was like 4
randomly, I'm sitting next to him on this fucking plane going to Perth.
So you literally had the seats next to each other. You sat next to each other.
Yeah.
That's fucking wild.
It was wild as fuck. Like, full fucked me up. Like, blew my mind. Like, it was weird. Anyway, so we're, we go back to Perth. He's giving me the down low of, like, his time in there. And
because you just got there.
Yeah, I'm just getting there and so he's ready leading off.
Your jobs weren't too much far apart either.
No, yeah. So weird, but it's like,
What do you get told at recruit school to become a cook? Oh, that fucking recruitment.
Yeah. Weird, eh? Anyway, so I get over there. He's in the down low. He's living off base already, obviously, with mates from Stirling. And I just start my posting at Stirling, and that was weird. Once again, luckily I had Stiff there because I didn't know anyone, so it was like just nice to know that I knew someone, just one person, and I know him. Like we were tight in high school. I was like, thank fuck, I know some cunt here. So
sick.
It made it a little bit easier, and he was a chefo, so it was like we work not side by side, but we're in the same category sort of thing. So I'm up the wardroom, officers, blah blah blah, doing all that shit. I think he's in the kitchen, whatever, down general, whatever it is, sailors
Main galley. Yeah.
main galley. So we made our connection again. We're like back and forth. I finally moved out off base with this other bloke that I was in cat school with. He got posted with me. Me and him are living together with this other chick as well. All stewards from Cerberus. So we got a house together. We're renting together, and Stiffy's got his mates and all this kind of stuff. Yeah, so we're just like, we're just doing it. It's all happening. I'm making my life in Perth, figuring it all out. New job, first posting, making all these new friends. Pretty cool. Like, so you've moved on from that core recruitment school, cat school family to this new. Now I'm in Perth. I've got to start all over again. Like, fucking hell. Anyway, so it was cool. I met some cool people there, which I still talk to today as usual, like Defence Force styles. Like, you still made these lifelong friends. So
Like me.
like yourself, and and so then it gets fucking weirder again. So finally, I don't know who it was, whoever comes up to us and is like,
You're going to see.
boys, we got 2 postings. You can go to HMAS Canberra and go to Rimpak. Sounds pretty fucking cool. I'm like, yep, that sounds awesome. Like, fuck yeah, Rimpak, like war games in the Pacific.
Yeah.
That sounds fucking wicked. Or you can go to HMAS Adelaide and go to the Gulf. And I'm like, holy fuck. This is like, that for me at the time was so surreal, because I'm like, I get to go on posted to HMAS Adelaide, like my granddad.
Yeah.
So this shit's just like, oh, I've got no choice. Like, I have to do it. And I get to go to the Gulf. Like, you actually get to put your training into practice.
That was Op Slipper 2005. Yeah.
No, it was
Four.
It was Op Catalyst.
Huh.
04. Yeah. And I think anyone that's in the defense, been in the Defence Force or is or whatever, I think it's just like, you want to see action.
Yeah, fuck
You
yeah.
don't want to join the Defence Force just to do fucking exercises and training and fucking all this shit, and then not put it into practice. Like,
it's like training basketball every day and never actually playing a game.
Yeah. I know blokes today that I've got a mate, his son's in the army, and he hasn't done anything.
Yeah. They all hate it. Yeah,
they hate it. He hates it. I think he actually left because he's like, all I do is go do fucking natural disaster relief.
Yeah,
like,
or you go field and just
fucking,
get shit on all day, but you never actually get anything good out of it.
Fucking stand guard at a building when COVID was on, so people didn't leave. Like, he was like, this is bullshit. Anyway, so back to my point, I was like, I get to go to the Gulf. I get to put my training into practice. Like, I get to hopefully see some action. I think when you join the Defence Force, that's all you want to do. You want to see action. Otherwise, what's it fucking for? Like, I don't know. Like, I think deep down you really do want to do that. If you join and don't want to see action, I'm not sure your intention. I don't know why you joined.
Yeah.
Really? Like,
financial security and fucking stable job.
I don't know. I don't get it.
Yeah.
If you're joining,
I don't want to go to war.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. That was me anyway. I was like, oh, I'm going. Let's do this. Like, fuck war games. I want to go to the real. Let's go. Yeah. Like, let's do it.
Skip the fucking warm up.
Yeah. Let's. And I'd done. And to me, it was like everything fell into place. I get to go do my job. I get to be on the ship that my granddad, well, not the same one, but the second one.
Yeah.
And continue that somewhat legacy. And man, like, it was huge. I remember telling Dad. Dad was like stoked, but not stoked because I had to go to golf. But it was it was kind of cool. And yeah, so I said, yep, I'm going to Adelaide. Who else goes on fucking Adelaide? Stiffy. So now me and him are like best mates again on this shit. We're fucking living together, working together. We're going to the golf together. And yeah, that was pretty cool. Like, to me, I was like, okay, so all the shit that I've been through because I always think in retrospect, like a lot, even now, because all my successes and even that one there was massive. But even now, I always think if I did anything differently, I wouldn't be where I am now and getting this opportunity or having this success or whatever it is. So I'm like, okay, this is everything happened for me for this to all come together. I was at that time and place at the right time, even though it was probably shit, but it all was leading to this. And yeah, sailing to the Gulf. I mean, even doing even our readiness for it, that was shit. Like it sucked. We were up for like 72 hours just getting smashed before signed off ready to go. So and when we were yep, you're all good. Your ship's ready to go. We were like, fuck yeah, let's do this. Let's go. So then we were on our way up there and this, oh man, I remember we were leaving too and there was a sub in the waxer and it was like cruising along and I was like, fuck yeah, this is like this is the shit. Like this is like living the fucking dream to the max. I was like, we're at sea. But that in my mind, I'm full like living this fucking weird like Hollywood fucking dream like movie scene. Like it was cool. Like, when we were leaving, all the families were there saying goodbye and we were fucking on the ship's side and fucking
yeah. Sending you fucking series.
Yeah, it's pretty cool, man. Like, yeah. So we were off to the Gulf and yeah.
How was that?
That was interesting.
When you got up there?
Yeah, we got to the Gulf, went to Bahrain. Stopped off first to get fuel and supplies at Diego Garcia. Whatever, that's cool. Kept going, I got to the Gulf, went to Bahrain, fuel up again. And so Bahrain's the US base. And I remember we got there and we were drinking in their piss bar and we commandeered their fucking speakers or their fucking iPod at the time, I think it was, and put on fucking like Australian Crawl or some shit, like a Men at Work or something. And we were sitting there blasting over the speakers. It's hot as fuck. And we're drinking Miller Lights because then fucking that's what they drink. Light beer. It's like, what the fuck is shit? That's all you could get. So we were all sitting at this table drinking fucking Gammon Miller Lights. And these fucking Yank submariners came over and they're sitting with us and we're all like carrying on, drinking, whatever. They get blind off light beer and we're just like, fuck, like, yeah. And then I remember this one dude, he's like ripped his shirt open and he's got his skull and crossbones on his chest. And he's like, you know what this means? I was like, what? And he's like, this means I'll fucking kill you. And I was like, shut the fuck up. Like, you idiot. And I'm like, these guys are fucking stupid. Anyways, yeah, so whatever. Yanks are Yanks there. But it was funny. Like, we had a good time with them. We just made the most of it. And they just put their country music on and shit. And yeah, it was fucking weird. But it was cool. It was like life experiences. So I was like, oh yeah, I'm like fucking yeah. So anyway, yeah, we just cruised around, got out in Bahrain, had a look, see what it had to offer. So that was our first experience. That was okay. That was cool. Then we went back out to sea, and we started our swing, out at sea, and then I can't remember how long they were before we went back into port. I can't remember. It was probably a month or two.
Any troubles or anything out there?
Yeah, so I was actually put my hand up to be on the boarding party. So that was fucking awesome. Thank God, because I was like, I couldn't be a divvy. So next best thing was boarding party. So got in, did that. That was
with the divvies.
Yeah, I was with the divvy. So it was cool. Like, yeah, loved it. We had obviously 2 ribs on the ship. We used to go blue light watches or whatever it was called at the time. I can't remember. They had pirates in the Gulf that used to rob the dhows or the fishing dhows. So we used to go and fucking like make sure they were okay and chase them off and whatever. And blue light runs they were, I think, of a night time. And that was cool. Talked to a few funny locals on these fishing dhows. Like their boats are just fucking bullet riddled from these fucking pirates. They call them maybe Alibaba. And we're like sitting in Alibaba and they're like, yeah, I'll be ready next time he's making a durry. He pulls out this Molotov cocktail. He's like, I'll be ready next time. We're like, fuck, can't put that down. What are you doing? Like, anyways, and the old mate over there is just taking the shit off the side, and we're just like, fucking hell. You know, so that was funny. But yeah, we boarded cruise line, like what do they call, like the big barges that took people across.
Ferry.
Yeah, it's like a big ferry though, like massive barge thing, and yeah, did the whole thing. Had to do joint ones with American boarding parties, English boarding parties. So that was interesting to see how they operated. Americans obviously were fucking full gun ho, like carrying on like fucking shit was already happening. Nothing was happening. Like we were just routine boarding, and they're running around with their fucking M6 or whatever the fuck it was, like spitting fucking chewing tobacco in their little fucking bottle in their fucking vest. And I'm like, they're like for real life. They're living this shit like it's what you see in the movies.
Yeah.
Like they're so gun ho. I'm like, we were all just like, hurry the fuck up.
Just full Aussie about
Sit
it.
down, yeah, like don't move, like yeah. Can we go yet? Type thing, like professional, but underneath we're like, fuck, it's like so fucking hot. And I think the uniform was different back then, and we were just like sweating up. We had full plates in our vest, so we had to put our own plates in our vest. Well, I don't know what they do nowadays, but we have the vests, and we have to put the bulletproof plates inside the vest. Shit was heavy, whatever. And then you either had your Steyr or you had your shotgun, or you just had your pistol and ASPAT and whatever. So depending on what your job was. But yeah, so didn't really see too much action on that front, except I'll tell fibs. We did have one incident. So we went and we had this briefing. There was a ship that was run aground on this suspect sandbar that was on the border of Iranian and Iraqi waters. So we're like, that was a bit weird. And there's this sunken crane out there that has a sentry posted on it. I think I'm not sure.
The sentry was in someone was standing on it.
Yeah, so that was their job. So they had to stand there, and they obviously took stints on this fucking crane as a sentry, and it was all just a bit weird. Like the briefing was weird. The ship running around in the sandbar was weird, and we're like, we have to go inspect it. All right, let's do it. So both boarding parties, sweet, let's go do it. MV Sham, I think it was called. And we got out there, did the routine boarding, sweet, nothing weird. It was all pretty fucking standard. And then when we were leaving, these two were boarding our ribs to leave. And these two speedboats rocked up with cunts just fucking yelling, fucking blah, 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 like fucking Arab shit. Fucking guns out, everything. And our PO was like, get back on the fucking ship, everyone. So we all climbed back up on the ship. We sent our ribs back to Adelaide and locked the ship up. These two speedboats stayed there. And the PO's like, sweet, everyone just fucking post yourselves 360 around the ship. So we had all the boarding party posted around the ship. So we had a 360 view of fucking everywhere. And then, long story short, we were there for 4 hours in this standoff. And in that 4 hours, I think there's probably like another 4 to 6 other speedboats rocked up with fucking rocket launchers on the fucking little boats, speedboats. And
you had action fucking.
It was hairy. We were like fucking gun safety off. And the order was, if they come on the ship, fucking shoot them. We're like, sweet. It was kind of funny. I won't say his name, but there was a Kellic clearance diver on there, and he's a clearance diver. So they're like, you know,
special forces.
You know, and he was peaking. Like, this cunt doesn't smoke durries. He was smoking durries. Like, I'm like, calm down, cunt. Like, and to me, I was calm because I was like, fuck yes, this is it. Like, sweet. And in my mind, I'm like, come on the ship, cunt, so I can shoot your face. Like, I was ready. I was like, let's please, just please, someone fucking get on this ship. So we posted around the ship, tipped these barrels of oil down the back of the ship so they couldn't climb up the back. Shut all the doors on the side, locked everything down. They couldn't get on, so and these are Iranians, by the way, sorry. So the Iranian speedboats hijacked this fishing dhow and brought it alongside MV Sham to climb on it to get on. So this is all fucking happening. Like, this is like, I'm ready. Like, I'm ready to shoot cunts. Like, it's going down. Like, it was pretty crazy. And all the while, we had our comms bloke. He's back and forth with the ship. We're asking the ship to get us reconnaissance, like from the Yanks and the Brits, and they never came.
You just sat there by yourself.
They just docked us, and later we found out that the Yanks said, "No, we're not having anything to do with it."
What the fuck? What was on the ship that they wanted?
Us. So we had a linguist on board Adelaide that was negotiating with them, and he told us afterwards, after it was all said and done, he goes, yeah, they were fucking serious. They wanted to take you prisoner.
Yeah, right.
Anyway, so we sent our helo to come, because the Yanks and that weren't coming to support us, because we were going to get our rids back out to take us back, and we were going to get air support from the other navies to come and help us, and they didn't come. So our skipper said, just winch them off. Send our helo in there and winch them off. So they came out, did a quick flyby to see if they get shot at. Didn't get shot at. Sweet. Okay. So they came back. We're all up at the bridge at this time. So they're like, all right, half of you is going to get on the helicopter first and get out of here. And then they're going to come back and pick the rest of you up.
How long?
Man, I can't remember. Because they had to get back to the ship, drop them off and come back for us. So, yeah, I don't know. Yeah.
Like fucking half an hour?
Probably. Something like that. Yeah.
Were you on the one that stayed or the first export? Exfil? I
can't remember. Yeah, I don't know. I'm not sure. It all was real, like, weird. Like, well, we're there for 4 hours standoff, but it all felt like it just happened like it was just so quick. Like, it was all, it was one of those weird things.
The whole time.
It was one of those weird things where, like, time stood still. I think because you just didn't know, because it was so intense and you didn't know shit was going to pop off. Because I remember having one thought in my mind that if I pulled my 9mm out and just let off one shot in the air,
it's over.
It's on. But it's just a weird, random, like, I don't even know if it's sadistic or not, but I was just like, if I did this, we'd all be dead. Like, that would just shoot us. Like, that would just
fully surrounded.
Fuck us up. Yeah. So, anyways, this is one of those weird thoughts that I had in the minute. And anyway, so yeah, we all got winched off, had our debrief. The linguist told us after the debrief what was actually going on. And we got out. We're all cool. And the Australian government hid that shit for years. They didn't didn't bring it out for fucking years later.
Did that happen?
Yep. So, and then when they did bring it out, they gave the officer that flew the helicopter a medal. They gave the boarding PO, the petty officer for the boarding party, gave him a medal.
Medal for what?
And that's it. For handling the situation the way they did. For leadership, I don't know. For fucking, I don't know. Yeah,
what was the medal?
I don't know. I'll have to look it up. I've got the newspaper clipping at home.
Yeah, right.
But
not the boys that were all fucking standing there.
Gave props to the helicopter officer. Yeah, credit due. Yeah, sweet. Got us out of there. Yeah. And the boarding party officer that got us out of there, like that handled the situation that no one died and blah blah blah.
The other 6 medals couldn't afford.
Yeah, well, there was 12 of us. Like, okay. Yeah, two boarding parties. Anyways, so I was like, fucking typical, whatever. Who cares? some of us might have mental health from that. I don't know. Like, it's all good. I don't want a fucking medal anyway because I just giving away like fucking anything. Anyway, so yeah, so that was the only action that I saw, but it was still pretty fucking cool.
Yeah, definitely.
It was nice to be able to have something to come back with a story.
Yeah.
Other than just getting blind and fucking running amok on the piss and when we're on leave.
Yeah.
But yeah, it was a good time. Like, yeah. It was 6 months, and on the way home, we nearly got pulled over to do. That was when the floods were going on in India, and so that was like, we need to go do relief for that, or tsunami, I think it was, or whatever it was. Anyways, and they're like, nah, they've been away from home for 6 months, just get them home. So they sent another ship. I can't remember who it was, Roramunga or something. Anyway, so we just went home, and then I did the rest of my career. I did. I was based still in Perth, on Adelaide, and just did border patrol and exercises, and that got real fucking old after a while. We did one PR tour up through Southeast Asia, which was fucking awesome. But that was just a big piss run, but it was cool. Like, yeah, had a good time with the boys on that one. And other than that, it was just exercises and fucking and Christmas Island.
So when did you decide to leave?
So,
or when was the incident
going back
departure?
So going back to my vice, drugs and alcohol again. Never went away, I guess. I suppose it was always still there, but it wasn't like my main focus. Like, it was still there. I was doing the job, which was good, and I think this is probably, in a weird way, was a saving grace because I was able to get away from the drugs by being away at sea. So I was able to have a break. If I was a civvy, I probably would have become addicted.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, most likely would have become an addict. But when we were on leave at home, it was back to relaxing, having fun with the boys or whatever. So it was drinking, going to the club again, whatever, in Rocco, and drugs were still there. So yeah, so we went to Cambodia. I think it was PR. So it would have been a PR, part of a PR trip. And it was the first time that an Australian ship had been back to Cambodia since the Holocaust. So it was kind of a big deal. All the locals were there. I'm pretty excited. It was all happening. I got off the ship. There was expats on the wharf. And they were like, oh, come to this beach party and all this shit. And we were like, yeah, sweet, whatever. So I'm like fucking on leave in party mode already. And these blokes are already telling us about a beach party. So I'm like, I'm going. Like, sweet.
How long before you had to be back on the ship?
Oh, I think I had a few days leave or whatever. However the roster worked. So I was sweet. Like, that was all good. So we got out, did the normal thing, went to the hotel, checked in, took the bags off, straight out on the piss. Mekong buckets in the afternoon, just doing the tourist thing, checking all the sites out as you do. Back to the hotel room to get ready to go out that night. So we're in the hotel room, we're getting ready. Back in the tuk-tuks, we're fucking going to all these places, like just trying to find where it's good to drink, find where everyone else is to catch up. And yeah, we go to this. The tuk-tuk driver's like, oh, you want to come to a disco? I'm like, yeah, fuck yeah, let's go to disco. So we go to this disco, meet up with a few other shipmates, drinking, carrying on. Oh, let's go to this fucking beach party. So I'm like, yeah, sweet, let's go. So we're on the tuk-tuk, find out where the fuck this beach party is. There's already fucking shipmates there. And one of the blokes that I was with from WA, been in Sydney, lived in Sydney or whatever, or worked in Sydney. He knew a bit about drugs. And I was like, oh, yeah, he probably knew more than me because I'm like pretty much just like pingers. That's really it for me. I didn't really do anything else, to be honest. And Cambodia's commodity is heroin. I've never done heroin. Didn't really entertain it, to be honest. Never really was on my radar. Wasn't really keen to try it.
Hmm.
I was like, but I like having a good time. And I'll try it. I'll try anything once. And this bloke's like, I trust him because he's had it before. So he's found a local, and this local's gone away and come back and with this rock of pure heroin. And this bloke's gone, sweet, he's bought it. He's gone, here's your bit. I'm going to take my bit and go back to the hotel room and whatever. And I was like, I'm not going home. I'll come stay in the beach party with everyone else. So I've done coke before, and I've racked up coke before. So I'm thinking, I just rack up heroin like I rack up coke. I didn't know you can't rack up heroin. So I'm racking up this big line of heroin like it's cocaine, and I fucking snort it, and I go back to the bar, and this other bloke's snorted some as well. We've gone back to the bar, so we're sitting there, got our drinks.
He didn't know either.
He didn't know either.
Never watched Pulp Fiction.
Drinking away. Look over him. He's hunched over on the bar, like lying down. I'm like, handle your drugs. This is what I said. And the next minute, I wake up, open my eyes, and I just see the colourful lights of the coloured light bulbs on the roof. Everyone's standing around me, and the PO med working on me. And I OD'd. And so did old mate next to me as well.
Heart stopped.
Yeah, so I think it took 3 shots of Narcan to bring me back. And and I went back to the ship. And that was it. That was the start of the beginning of the end.
Yeah.
So obviously went through the process. They sent away the the samples to toxicology in Sydney.
Yeah.
To get tested. Test came back. There's no other way that it could have gotten into your system other than you snorting it, because I said my strength got spiked.
Ah, okay.
Anyways, you're out. So dishonorable, discharge, and
Iranian.
yeah, that was it.
You made it as well.
Yeah.
Same story.
Yep, same story. Yep, both out. And
How long between determination and fucking handing your ID in?
I think there was a little while still, because I think you just had to go through the paperwork. So I think there was a few months there still. I think we came back, and I remember we pulled into Darwin, because that's where I had to. That was it. That was where I had to get off.
Yeah.
And I was.
Is this still Adelaide?
I was out. Yeah. Yeah, still Adelaide. So we pulled into Darwin.
Stiffy on the ship?
Yeah, Stiffy was still there. Yep. Oh, hang on. Maybe. Yeah, no, I'm pretty.
Wasn't partying on the beach with you though?
Maybe he wasn't actually. I can't remember, to be honest. I'll have to ask him. Yeah, I don't know. But yeah, I was out.
So they put you on a flight back to Perth.
Back to Perth, then back to Brisbane.
And just waiting out for the discharge, or went back to work and.
No, I think it was pretty quick. I think I was pretty fast. Like,
I didn't fuck around.
Nah. No, I think because I already had a an alcohol charge before for being late to the ship. I think I had like probably maybe two charges just from being late to the ship. There was one time where I got T-boned on the way to work, and it was just before I went to the Gulf. So I got T-boned on the way to work, and I blew over.
So on the way to work.
So yeah, so I had already had a couple of charges that they sent me to do.
Just because you were in the morning because you've been on the piss the night before. Or
the night before. Yeah, so I was still pissed from the night before, but so I already had a couple of charges. Did the course? They sent you away to do the drug and alcohol course. Did all that. Which even that was pretty eye-opening, because you have to go to an AA, sit in an AA meeting, and that was pretty crazy, because you just listen to the stories and you think, well, fuck, I'm nothing. They've got nothing on them. Like full-blown alcoholics with blackout stories and like pretty violent crazy
selling their
story.
fucking kids for
Yeah, or just waking up after a blackout and the house is covered in blood and their wife and kids are gone and
oh fuck.
like, yeah, it's full on. But anyway, so I was like, I'm sweet. Like, I'm not like that.
It was like a good time.
Yeah. So yeah, I couldn't compare to them. So that kind of to me was like, oh, okay, I'm all right. Anyway, so yeah, so by that stage, that was probably the straw that broke the camel's back. And see you later.
How'd you feel about that?
I was filthy on myself. Yeah, I was spewing because I didn't want to go. I planned to. My plan was to stay.
Yeah, lifer.
I was a lifer from the get go. I didn't. Yeah, so I was really pissed at myself for fucking that up, and yeah, just disappointed that I fucked up such a good thing. And even now, I'll go back in a heartbeat. But yeah, it's been so long now between then and now, so I still miss it. Like, I miss everything about it. Besides the shit parts, but I can't, even that, like, whatever.
Yeah, you block all that out.
Yeah, you sort of do. Like when you're on duty,
abusive relationship.
When you're on duty, and at the time you're like, this is fucked. Like it's weird because it's the other way around. You think when you're on duty and you think this is fucking crap. I'm 3 hours on sentry on the fucking ship in port. Like, what the fuck am I doing? It's so fucking boring. It's like peacetime. It's like, I hate this fucking shit. Like,
fucking job sucks.
Yeah.
I fucking hate the Navy.
But then you get out and you think, oh, fuck, I'm just going to go back
You
in.
could be a sentry on the fucking ship right now.
Yeah. So much simpler. Like, yeah. So there's a lot. There's more that I miss that outweighs the bad. more good times. And yeah, you take the good with the bad, I suppose. Even the fact that I couldn't get off the ship to get a shore posting, wouldn't get released. So at that time too, I was like, oh, I just want to get out. Like, I'm done. But
how'd you go with telling the family what happened?
I told them I got dishonorably discharged for alcohol charges.
Oh, did you?
Yep.
They never knew.
No. So I hope they don't watch this. But yeah, like I said, it was that long ago now. It's like, oh, well, what do you do? But yeah, so
for those folks at home, we met. You were living with Brett, Stiffy.
Yep.
The childhood friend, and then there's a 3-bedroom house. I was posted to Sterling. I was in Brett's duty watch. He was my supervisor. He told me he had a spare room. After I did my compulsory time on base, I then moved off base and lived with you too. Fucking fiends.
They were pretty bad. I'm not gonna lie. Yeah, I always think WA. Yeah, I fucking gave it a good nudge. Like,
I think you were probably on your way out when I moved in.
Yeah, I was. Yeah, I was.
Yeah.
Yeah. So there was a period there where I'd already discharged, I think, and I was waiting to leave. You'd moved in at the same time I was leaving, sort of thing.
Yeah, because you weren't there for long before. It was just me and Brett.
No, but yeah, we'd already established a friendship in that time, I think. Anyway.
Yeah, we were hanging out a fair bit.
Yeah, we were partying together, having a good time. Yeah, like I said, there's that particular incident I regret for the fact that I had to leave something that I loved.
Wish it could have been some other way that gave you that fucking wake up call, like a family member finding out or something that fucking snapped you out of it.
Yeah.
Rather than the boss, your boss.
Yeah, that was like. Well, I probably have to give a shout out to the PO med that saved my life as well, because if you take everything away, that's really what happened, and he saved my life, and I don't think I ever thanked him for that. I can't remember if I did on the ship or not. Maybe I did, but I can't remember. But if I didn't, nah, not off the top of my head. I just know that he was the PA med at the time. But good bloke, yeah. Because I was part of that ship's medical emergency team too. So I did look up to him as well from that aspect. I had to do that job when we were in the Gulf, and so he was another one of those leaders throughout my career that I looked up to.
Role model.
Yeah, because you had your job, but then you had your ancillary duties as well, and he was the PMO that we had to listen to and learn from and be accountable to. So, and at the end of the day, he's a man that saved my life. Otherwise, I wouldn't be here if he wasn't there.
He was at the bar.
He was on duty and got called out to the bar and had to act accordingly, and he did what he did.
So he brought you back on the floor of the bar.
Yep. Yeah. So both of it, the other bloke too. So
yeah, right.
Pretty crazy when you look at it in hindsight. But if I didn't say thank you then I'd say thank you now for that. I owe him my life literally. So
hopefully he catches wind of this.
Ah, God. Yeah.
PO Med, HMS, Adelaide, 2004, 5?
4-ish. Yeah, 4-ish, 5-ish. 5 maybe, yeah. But, thanks. Thank you. But, so another chapter in my life that I'll put behind me and we move on.
So you got out 2005, end of 2005, early 2006?
I think 2006 I got out. And
I think I posted in late 2005, so it would have been, maybe mid-2006.
Yep. And we, moved back home to Brisbane and then did a few odd jobs here and there, bartending, and then working in factories.
You ever try heroin again?
Fuck no. Nah. That was probably a pivotal moment where I was like, okay, maybe this isn't the best idea. So time to change, probably time to grow up.
Who'd you live with when you got back?
Moved back home.
Moved
back home for the initial part, and then moved out with friends again. Started integrating back into civilian life, trying to figure out what the fuck I'm going to do with my life now that I have to think for myself, which was kind of hard because I felt like I'd gone back to square one before I joined. Like I was back to where I was in limbo going, fuck, I'm going to do now? Like, what do I do with myself? And I think I still carry a little bit of mental health with me. I think purely from just those, experiences that have formed triggers internally that I've never dealt with until now. And I've only started unpacking all that in the last couple of years where I started seeking counselling through Mates for Mates and through DVA and just started doing a lot of work, trying to figure out, my triggers and how they impact my day-to-day life with my family and my relationships with those close. So, so there's been a lot of discovery in the last 2 years, I think, doing that counselling. I still do it. It's probably ongoing. I actually don't know if I really want to stop because I think it helps get me through.
That's good.
Yeah. So, and since I started, I've been like I said before, the biggest advocate of just talking. Just talking, even if it's not to a counsellor, just talking to someone. Yeah. Anyone that'll listen, that cares, obviously, that has a genuine interest in your well-being, and I think I put it on to everyone. Like I know it's that conversation again where everyone's like that big stigma around blokes and I think we're getting past that though.
Oh, we are definitely.
I think it's a bit like I'm a bit sick of hearing that whole topic around the stigma around blokes being tough and all this. No. I think that's bullshit now.
Maybe some of the old boys that are stuck in their ways, but
absolutely.
We're fucking. What are we? Just crossed over from Gen X to millennial when we were born.
Yeah.
And we grew up in that hard ass fucking. You don't talk about your feelings. Men don't cry. Fucking. But I guess we grew up without technology as well. But we've come to accept technology in the same way we've come to accept feelings are fucking legitimate and
absolutely. And I think, like they say, and I think it's starting to turn into you're more of a man if you do talk and
Yeah.
and deal with your issues because you care about those around you that you're having an impact on. Because if you're not dealing with your own issues, that obviously has an impact on those you love. So I think
Yeah,
I think
100%.
it is, and I wouldn't say manly. I think it's just being mature and responsible around being emotionally aware and just dealing with your shit. Like, just, it's hard. Like but at the same time, it's liberating getting it out.
Yeah,
So,
it is. Fucking oath. I see a psych as well, periodically whenever I feel like I need it. And honestly, the stuff I'm like, I don't know how the fuck she's going to help me with this. But then I just tell her what's on my mind and she doesn't fucking say anything. But I walk away from there feeling so much better just because I've let it out.
Yep.
Yeah, just talking about it.
It makes a massive difference because you're not carrying it around with you anymore.
Yeah. Yeah, because it's always just fucking ruminating and fucking you just making up all this shit in your head about what it means and you just say it out loud and somebody listens and accepts it and you're like, oh, okay.
Yeah. And then you can sort of you can move on.
Yeah.
Where you feel like you can move on because it's not holding you back anymore.
Yeah.
Because you've let it go.
Yeah.
That's the hardest part.
Yeah, that's it. Like you're releasing it into the world.
So I'm massive advocate for talking. If you've got the option to do counselling, I know it's easier for us as veterans or still serving that can access the services.
Yeah.
I know it costs money for civvies to do it, but if you can do it, then I'd recommend doing it. And you'll be surprised at the shit that'll come out because that's what their job.
Yeah,
they'll tease it out of you.
I think the first first 3 months of seeing a psychologist, I was like bawling my eyes out every fucking session. I was like, where is all this fucking coming from?
Yeah, because it's always been there.
Yeah.
You just learn to.
Yeah, I walk in there going, I've got nothing to talk about. I'm actually feeling pretty good. Fucking 5 minutes into the session, you're fucking sobbing. You're like,
I'm a piece of shit.
This happened to me when I was a kid.
Yeah, and it is. It's therapeutic for yourself, and then that obviously translates out, or ends up long term conveying to your family and friends because you're a better person for doing the work.
Yeah. You feel more at peace and
and then you can, and then if you're lucky enough like us who have friends for life because we served, I think, in all honesty, I think we're the lucky ones. Because you don't get that. You got best mates, and I know people that I've got a best mate that I've had that I haven't served with. And I will be
schoolmates and stuff.
Schoolmate, but
it's a different connection.
It's different. It's completely different.
I know, They always try and put a finger on what it is. If it's the fact that they sort of break you down and build you back up, and those people that are with you during that,
you do it together.
That period of life,
yeah.
You fucking bonded to and bound to for the rest of your life. But yeah, your civvy friends, you never have that real feel of like I feel. With military mates, like even ones that I barely speak to, that I know that I could make a phone call and they would fucking drop what they were doing and come.
Yeah.
But it's pretty rare to say the same thing about a civvy mate.
I don't think you can. I'm being for real, like honest to God, like
no, there's not really.
And everyone's got them. We've all got mates, and we've got mates at school, but I don't think that. And okay, there's going to be the exception that you are that close with a friend that they will drop anything. But I think 9 times out of 10, if you were to call a mate that you serve with, it's different.
Yeah, it is.
Because I feel like
it's almost like
an obligation.
It's like it's nothing for them. It's like, fucking, it's happening.
Yeah,
let's go.
Yeah.
Oh, you can't drive? Yeah, I'll pick you up.
Yeah.
Easy, bro.
And we go through shit together. And even now, like, when times are tough, you can lean on them.
Yeah.
Feel a bit weird leaning on a civvy mate.
Mm.
I don't feel like I could lean on them the same way I could lean on someone I served with. It's a different connection.
Yeah.
Yeah, for me anyway. I don't know if that's like that for anyone else, but that's
I've got a stack of group chats, and the only ones that blow up are the fucking the veteran.
Yeah.
It's fucking all day, every day, fucking memes and
Yeah.
banter and talking shit.
Yeah. It's a different bond. But I'm grateful for it, and I'm glad that we have it, because I feel very lucky that, you know, if everything goes to shit tomorrow, I'll still have those friendships.
Yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, we've always got to
hypothetically speaking, if my world exploded tomorrow, then I've still got someone or a couple of people that I can lean on that'll get me through. Like, yeah.
You've always got a floor or a couch to sleep on, and you know, like food.
And I couldn't do that with the CV mate, because that's weird.
A shower, and
it's like they're not going to let me into their house with their kids. You know what I mean? Like, whereas a veteran mate would, I think, or would be more open to. Yeah, definitely. So, yeah, I'm grateful for it. But yeah, it's cool.
Me too. So what else? What you got out? You fucked around. We moved in together. I think me and Brett were in for another year or so after you got out.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, sorry, I completely forgot about that. So you ended up discharging and moving back to Brisbane.
Yeah, I think because we stayed in that rocky. What was that fucking suburb called? Port Kennedy.
Yeah, Port Kennedy.
We were in Port Kennedy for about another 6 months, and then we moved into another place in Rocky for another 6 months. So there for about another year. And then we both got out. I think it was around Christmas.
Yep.
And then we moved into Margaret East, in a fucking little apartment, the 3-bedroom.
Yep. So at that stage, I was already working bartending.
Yeah, you're at Cooper. No,
I was
Camp Hill.
Camp Hill, and I was living in Norman Park. That lease came to an end with the mates that I was living with, and then you guys moved back, and I moved in with us. So it's us three. And I was still partying at that stage. So
that was pretty loose, that house. Me and Brett were doing chefo work, and you were doing bar work.
Yeah. So we were still like, it was a different time again. So now it's us three in civvy world. Bit more freedom, no worries about drug tests and shit like that. So we were like, okay, let's see what this looks like. I think there was a couple of relationships in the middle there somewhere. So we're all sort of like just, I don't know, we're just moving through it. And you guys would have, I think, and Brett more so, were still trying to integrate back into civvy life as well.
It would have been harder for Brett, because he just done a 6-year stint.
Yeah.
A couple of trips to the Gulf.
Yeah. I was ready. I'm ready. I've already done it. I'm working. I'm back in there.
Yeah, you'd been home for a while.
Yeah, you guys are still sort of working that out. The drinking, the partying was still sort of happening every now and again. But yeah, so
we stayed there. We got loose for another 12 months.
Yep.
That lease ended. Me and Brett moved to Paddo, and then you drove up north to fucking Mount Isa or something, yeah?
Yeah, so I was working in that factory at Schweppes with a mate.
Right. I came there, did a week of work or something with you.
Yeah, and we were working at Schweppes. I was working with this bloke who was an Irish backpacker, and got Jack of working there, and he said, I'm going to go to Mount Isa to try my hand at the mines. And I said, fuck, wait, I'm coming with you. So we were like, let's go. So next adventure, packed the car up, probably a few $100 between us, clothes on our back and a backpack and a 2-man tent. And he just gotten financed for this Honda Prelude, I think. And we were off. We're up on our way to Mount Isa, and I think we got to I got as far as Miles, and the fucking car broke down. So we were stuck in the middle, other side of the road in the middle of fucking nowhere. Keeping in mind I'm with an Irish backpacker, so no reception. nothing around. So he starts freaking out, thinking it's like Wolf Creek. We're going to die. I'm like, just calm down, cunt. Like, it's all right. Someone will come. So without fail, this flatbed truck rocks up and he's like, where he's going? We're going to Mount Isa. And he goes, well, I can take you to fucking Roma or I can drop you back at Miles. I said, well, we're not going back. Let's keep going. So we jump in the cab of this flatbed truck. There's fucking 4 of us. His mate, the driver, and us two, and we're in the middle, crammed in there all the way from Miles to Roma. So he puts the car in the back of the flatbed truck. We get to Roma.
Fucking hell, I was lucky it was a flatbed.
Lucky, yeah. So we got to Roma and bought him a 6-pack for his efforts, and he just fucking dumped.
So generous.
That's all I could afford. Dumped the fucking car there. See you later. Fucking whatever. It's fucked. And booked a ticket to went to the pub to get a counter meal to figure out what the fuck we're going to do now. Booked a ticket on the Greyhound bus up to Mount Isa. And that was it. Jumped on the bus and we were on our way again. We got to Mount Isa and didn't know what the fuck we were doing. I think it was night time. Dropped us off. We're like, fucking hell. Okay, what do we do? Let's go to the pub for a feed. So we went up there, figure out next steps. Got a feed, looked across the road. There's a fucking caravan park. Right, let's go to the caravan park. We'd like to book a site, non-powered. Pitch our 2-man tent.
2-man tent? Fuck it.
In this fucking non-powered site. In between these fucking grey nomad fucking camper trailers, like camper vans. Full gammon, like hella RVs, like nice, and this stupid 2-man tent in between them. And lived there for a fucking I think we were there for a good couple of weeks anyways, but yeah, next day we woke up, let's go into town.
Where'd you put your valuables?
In the tent. Make sure we zipped it up. And then next day we went into town, fucking straight on the job. Let's get some jobs. Let's fucking sign up at all the fucking job agencies. Signed up at every one of them. On the way back to the tent, fucking went to the pub because I'd bartended, handed my resume in, got back to the tent, and I got a call straight away. Oh, we got a bar job for you if you want it. Start immediately. Sweet, sorted. Got some money coming in again, which is great. So we can pay for our fucking site. And he gets Irish mate gets a job at Hastings, a Caterpillar dealership in Mount Isa. And so the plan was to keep working, save a bit of money to pay for our inductions to the mines and then get to the mines. Anyways, we're in this fucking 2-man tent for a couple of weeks. I'll just tell this story because I've told it a million times, but it's fucking funny.
Is it about how cozy you got in the 2-man tent?
Nah, it's pretty cozy. Across the road was an IGA, so we go to the IGA and buy some food and whatever. He buys a bottle of Coke and bread, fucking whatever, ham and whatever, lollies. Go back to the tent, sitting in the tent, having our fucking bread and whatever, and go to the amenities, have a shower and whatever, and about to go to bed. Outside the tent, a little tap. So we're out there, fucking at the tap, brushing our teeth. Sweet, let's go to bed. Jump back in the tent. Oh, mate picks up his bottle of Coke, starts swigging his Coke, and I said, Jamie, we just brushed our teeth. He goes, Duane, we live in a fucking tent. Oh, like fair play. Anyways, so I was doing closes at the pub. He was working at Hastings as a storeman. He said, Hastings said they got another storeman gig. Should come sign up. I said, yeah, fucking oath. Let's do it. So he signed up, got the job at Hastings as a storeman. So I was working as a storeman during the day, then going to the pub, doing the close at the pub overnight. Fucking burnt out real quick doing that, so I gave the pub up. Just worked at Hastings. That was good money. 12-hour shifts, half-day Saturdays, just fucking killing it. saving heaps, but still being able to piss up against the wall on the weekends, and just because, yeah, it was just such good money and overtime and whatnot. So we actually ended up staying at Hastings and forgot about the mines completely. And yeah, and I've been with Hastings 17 years in August.
Holy fuck!
So
Same company. Oh shit!
same company. So that was 2008. I started with them, and
You still fucking living in a tent with Jamie, or?
no. So we actually had pretty cool careers with Hastings. Actually, he ended up.
He's still there?
No, he's left. He ended up taking a job with Hastings in PNG and doing FIFO out of PNG. So big money.
Ah, right.
Fucking made a killing. I think bought his house or something or other. He ended up starting a family, which he said he was never going to do, and he was never going to have a child, but now they've got a daughter.
Mm-hmm.
Got married. Good on him. And then, I was at Hastings at the storm and ended up in the hose shop making hydraulic hoses by myself in that little hose shop there. And that's where I sort of learned, and I enjoyed it. Learned how to do that. And then sort of that was it for me. I was like, I love doing this. I love working with my hands. I love, working autonomously by myself, owning that little shop. And yeah, I ended up meeting a girl in there up at Mount Isa, and we fell pregnant. So moved back home to be closer to family, and transferred to the Brisbane branch and in the warehouse. But always sort of kept my finger on the pulse with the hose shop in Brisbane because I just wanted to get back into making hoses again. And had our son in Brisbane. We split up. I met my new partner. We're still together. Got married, had kids, and I've just been sort of working my way up through my career at Hastings. And yeah, now I've recently just got a promotion to product specialist for hydraulics. So starting in the hose shop building hoses, now I'm responsible for the services growth of hydraulics as a commodity for Hastings, in hose and couplings, pumps and motors, and cylinders and rods.
Nice.
In aftermarket sales. So,
congratulations.
Yeah. Thanks, mate. So, yeah. That's
pretty happy with this company?
Absolutely. Yeah. Great company.
Stick with them till retirement, I reckon?
Hope so. That's my plan. Anyways.
Nice.
But took me 17 years nearly to get to where I am in my field. But yeah, now, so I'm sort of in a way, and I've always let my work do the talking. I've never been one to brown nose. It's not me. I can't do it. Like I just hate people that brown nose.
No, it's fucking great.
I hate people that fucking brown nose. I hate fucking purple patches. Like, good on you if you can get into it and that's who you are and that's how you operate. But that's not me. I'll just let my work do the talking for me.
Yeah.
And I'll let people reward me on my merits and my work ethic and blah, blah, blah.
Yeah, fucking
it sounds a bit gammon, but that's just who I am. Like, so if you can brown nose your way in your career, then fucking do it. If you got a silver tongue,
that's your skill level. Yeah.
If you got a silver tongue, that's your thing.
That's your ticket.
That's your jam. Like, it's not mine. I don't have a silver tongue.
No, me either.
I got the
bedside manner of a fucking brick.
Yeah, and in the workplace, I make friends pretty quickly. I'm pretty helpful, knowledgeable, reliable. I like to help empower people in their career. So I impart all the knowledge I have.
Do you reckon any of your time in the past, past being in the Navy for the common folk?
Yeah.
Do you reckon your time in the past has sort of helped shape your work ethic? And
yeah, I think it has. I think that camaraderie for me is the biggest standout that I took away from the Navy, is being able to be reliable to, if it's your shipmates or if it's, I don't know what you call them in the army or whatever, but like it's being able to be relied upon to do your job, and know that people can trust that you're there, and you've got everyone's, and maybe it's the company's best interest now at heart. Like, you're all working towards one goal, and you've all got each other's backs. So for me, the Defence Force instilled that work ethic in me, and I guess I carry that through my life now, where it's and I create friendships sort of based around the similar sense of, we're all in it together. It's one in, all in. So that phrase stuck out for me with the Defence Force. And that's how I feel in my career now. It's like, we're all here, we're all working for the same company, we're all working towards the same goal. We want to achieve the same outcome. Let's all get together and let's make it happen. And trust that everyone in their role does it to their best ability, where we can get to that ultimate finish line, whatever that is, whether it's reaching a target or whether it's, I don't know, whatever it is for your role, whatever, we've all got different KPIs and goals, but I don't know. That's to me, it's all about, working together. And that's what the Defence Force gave to me.
Yeah.
Is that sense of, mateship and working together as a team, and being and
fucking oath.
Going into bat for the other bloke.
It's pretty difficult though, because not everyone has that mentality, right? Like we have that mentality, but I remember the first time I walked into a civilian job after getting out of military, going, what the fuck? Like, cunts are just paying off it, like not turning up for work, or just being like super late and just like fucking cruising in like nothing's wrong. You're like, what the fuck is going on here?
So I had my first taste of people management when I became leading hand of a workshop and a hose shop. And that, I struggled with that, in the fact that I've never been responsible, because I never got to Kellic. I was only able seaman, so I didn't have people working underneath me or reporting directly to me. So this is my first sort of taste of that dynamic, where I was responsible for a team, but this team didn't turn up for me. And I was like, fuck you. Like, we're all supposed to work together to achieve a common goal. And at every turn, each one individually just didn't turn up, didn't show up for the, on the day consistently, and it pissed me off. And I couldn't understand why. I'm like, come on, guys, like, we're a team. Let's fucking, and that's the mentality that I led these blokes with, is like, straight from the Defence Force, is like, we're a team. Let's work together. Let's have each other's backs, and let's get it done. But it's just different. And I just like, fuck, like, did my head in, and I took it home with me. And the stress, like, it was hard. So I don't miss the people management now.
You're not working, you don't have anyone under you?
No, I don't. If I had to, I would do it again. And as I've gone through my career, I've learnt skills that are better able me to be able to manage people better. I don't know, but I don't miss it. I mean, and I'm kind of sad in a way that I didn't get that chance in the Navy either, because that was like, I was looking forward to that.
Aspirations.
And I had good mentors in the Navy too. So I had a good Kellic, I had a good PO.
You want to be able to pass down your knowledge on
and they were great mentors. And one of them, so my leading hand at the time, is now a warrant officer. Like, he's a lifer, and he's gone all the way as far as he can go.
Warrant officer of the Navy.
Yeah. For a
non-commissioned.
Yeah. Right. And, so, and I could see that, because that's the drive that he had. And he was good at it, his job. And he was a steward. But didn't matter what rate, you know what I mean? Like,
you're going to be the best fucking steward the Navy's ever seen.
Pretty much, yeah. And it's paid off. I think I was thinking as part of the green team too.
Do they even have stewards anymore?
Yeah. Oh, well, I think so. I think the rates changed name.
Oh, okay.
Well, maybe not. I don't know.
I don't know if they do, eh? Officers have to pour their own juice now.
I think the rate names changed. Yeah. So, I don't know. I doubt it, because it's so instilled in the history and culture of the Navy. So I don't see it going anywhere.
really. I don't feel like officers would like that. So they'd be like, sort our own cocktail party out. Fuck that.
Fucking hell. After being in the Navy, I was like, man, being an officer is fucking sick.
Yeah.
When I went back into Army Reserves for the second time, and I was like, I'm going to be a fucking officer. Officer looks fucking awesome. Army officer's not the same.
Oh, really?
It's fucking, you eat last, you're up the latest, you're fucking, basically it's the worst fucking job in the Army. It's like,
fuck that.
What have I done?
I suppose it takes the type of person.
Yeah.
And those officers that live and breathe it.
Yeah.
You can probably see that they're pretty stoic, staunch blokes.
Oh, yeah, 100%.
You know what I mean? Like, they were built for this shit. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I looked at some of our leaders through the Defence Force and I thought, fuck, like, always typical, like the chief bosun.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
You're like,
fucking hard cunt.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you're like, it takes a certain bloke to be at that position.
Oh, yeah. Fucking oath. Oh, yeah. POs and chief bosuns are, I know.
Yeah. So, but I thought it was pretty cool. I was like, fuck that. He's cool, that bloke. Like,
yeah. Fucking oath.
But, yeah, I don't know. I've seen a few come and go and, yeah, I don't know. It's pretty cool. I'm a bit spewing that I didn't get the chance, but, my career was what it was, and I still had a great time. I still did some cool shit. I saw some cool stuff. Saw half the world, sort of.
From the inside of a bar.
Yeah, pretty much.
Through a bottle.
Yeah, I had some weird times, actually, when I was in, I think me and Stiffy were drinking in Abu Dhabi, maybe. Could have been Dubai. And I think at that time I sort of had the shits a little bit. I can't remember what it was. Something to do with the pus. And we're talking about the operation. I can't remember. We're at the bar and Stiffy was like full staunch and said, "Oh," I'm like, "What?" He's like, "OPSEC." I'm like, "What do you mean?" He goes, "Operational security. Shut the fuck up. Stop talking about it at the bar." I'm like, "Shut the fuck up, cunt. Who gives a fuck? This bloke, he doesn't care." Like, but he was like, he was serious. Like, yeah, and I was a bit like,
so he didn't fuck around at work, eh?
Nah, he didn't fuck around, man. Like,
he's like a fucking loose cunt, party animal. But fucking at work, he was like,
when it was work time,
he was fucking,
it was work
he
time.
was on,
I used to go down actually from the wardroom and go help him do prep sometimes, like because we could, I suppose. And I used to see them. They are fuck being a chef. Fuck that. Like you used to get flogged. Like you just work. Like if you're not cooking, you're prepping. If it's just like ongoing.
Yeah.
Like fuck that.
It was.
So I got a lot of respect for chefos, to be honest. I see how much work they do, and I fuck that. I couldn't do it. I couldn't be bothered. Like I'd rather just fucking clean guns and I don't know.
Fucking
stand watch.
I hate cleaning guns.
Mind numbing, but I don't know.
Yeah, one thing fucking that we do, speaking of fucking mateship and camaraderie and moving forward, is fucking 20 years ago we served together, and we still today, right after this, fucking Stiffy's coming over here and we're doing our biannual fucking catch up.
Yep.
Have a cocktail party. A bit more sophisticated than what we used to do back in the days.
A little bit, yeah.
Sinking fucking Teds and fucking...
Times have changed.
Getting smashed. But yeah, have a nice little cocktail party with some old pus boys. But yeah, just for fucking everything that we've talked about, for the camaraderie and mateship and mental health of always, having each other to lean on and all that sort of shit. So we better fucking wrap this up. But before I do, there's two questions that I like to ask based on the fact that this is a veteran podcast.
Yeah.
And those that are listening might be on their way in, they might be already in, or they might have left already. So just based on your own personal experiences, what would be a piece of advice that you might give to somebody that's about to join the Defence Force, about to get on that bus?
I'd probably say be open to everything, whether it's good or bad. Be open to the process. Trust in the process. Everyone deals with shit differently, but just like you're doing it. So just get amongst it. Don't be afraid to
to ask a stupid question or, just make the most of it, because I guarantee, like, when you're out, you'll miss it. So you want to get the most out of it while you're in, and yeah, be the one that that leads from the front. Like, don't be afraid to, don't stand back. Like, yeah, get amongst it, and your leaders will see it, and you'll be praised for it. They'll see that you're the type of sailor or soldier I am, and that these are the type of guys that we want, in our defence force today and moving forward. Yeah, if it's not a leader for others, be a leader for yourself, and just enjoy it. Like, don't take it for granted, because once it's over, then that's it. You'll have your mates forever. But yeah, like, just get the most you can out of it.
Don't do drugs in Cambodia.
Don't do drugs in Cambodia. Trust your mates. Have your mates' backs. Like, be the first one to stand up for your mate. If shit's going down, don't take crap. Yeah, and yeah, just make the most of it. Really, is all I can say.
Yeah, beautiful.
Yeah. If you're not going to be a lifer, then make the most of it, because you'll get a lot out.
Oh yeah,
from what you put in, and
shapes our lives.
And don't say no. Just say yes. If opportunities come, do it. Just do it.
Yeah,
you'll either
put your hand up.
You'll either love it, or you'll hate it, or you'll learn from it.
Yeah. You could either fucking sit around talking shit, or you could get stabbed for that duty or that activity that maybe you'll not enjoy at the time, but you look back and go, I'm fucking glad I did that.
Yeah, and you will. Yeah, because everything is always in hindsight. You know, so
there's not many fucking things in life where you get to, fucking, even if it sucks, sitting in a pit and fucking with a machine gun, but you'll look back and go, I was sitting in a pit with a fucking machine gun.
Yeah, you'll remember it.
I wish I had a machine gun right now.
I wish you could do that again. Anyways, but yeah, good luck to you if you are getting in. You'll love it.
And the flip side of that, you've been in, we're coming to the end of our time. You're about to walk out that gate for the last time, drive out for the last time. What's the advice you're going to give to someone that's putting it in their rear view, being a civvy now?
That's a hard one, because I think everyone's got to figure that out for themselves.
Yeah.
And it depends on your journey that you had. But I think, if I had to give one piece of advice, it would be, remember what you learned, and take those positives into your civilian life, and don't be afraid to fucking talk to people and talk to your mates. That's the biggest thing, really, because you are going to have times where after you get out, it's going to be different. It might be a bit harder for others than yourself or whatever, but yeah, I'm going to come back to just talk.
Yeah.
Talk to someone if you're struggling.
Yeah, don't be afraid to talk.
Don't be afraid to
reach out.
But yeah, so that's pretty much it for me, man. That's all I got.
That's more than enough, brother. Thanks for everything, dude. I really appreciate this.
No worries.
It's been a good chat.
Yeah, thanks, mate.
Cheers, bro.
Love you.
All right. Love you.